Now we're recording. I missed the entire write-up.
Almost asked. I was like,
Oh,
nah, he's in the middle of it. I bet he did it. I bet he hit record.
I meant to. That's all right. We'll do that recap later.
Okay.
I'll just post it.
Just in time for the action.
Exactly. So you all spend the time doffing your armor. Oh yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, so yeah, I don't really have any armor to doff. I'm just trying to maybe read the water, for lack of better words. See if there's anything in particular about it that should be concerning to us, or if it's just, seemingly still and fine. Or even maybe identifying like riptides or whatever,
Yeah, give me like either a survival or nature, your choice.
All right. Let's do survival.
Let's do some druid cheat.
Hey.
Awesome. Yeah. So the water looks pretty clear, and you see it has like almost like that like green emerald like shine. Like that like weird reflection of the water off the like as like the sun setting, and so with the sun setting and the moon coming out, there might be like a small shift in tide, but nothing too dangerous in that regard. And you don't see, it's actually pretty still at the moment. It's like almost like an unbroken like pane of crystal like blue green glass that you're like peering down into. And as you all follow the procession and doff your armor and you look at all of that, you follow this procession down to the southeastern edge. What seems like almost the entire population in the procession behind you and the other party. You wade through the shallows as you go into the water, going from one island to the next until finally you reach a small set of islands that break down into the water below. And then the elder Kobu Kaz, he places several potions of water breathing in front of the contestants, each and every single one of you. Their magic lasts for 1 hour. This will help you breathe while you're under the water. Spend your time wisely. And as that happens, the Elder Ushru stands forth before there's a mouth of this small cave in the breaking the surface of the water, and he addresses you and the other team. Brave and valiant individuals have triumphed in many challenges this day. Now, the final test of merit awaits you. He pulls a palm-sized gold and emerald amulet from his robes, and he holds it aloft and declares, "This metal's twin has been placed in the deepest cavern of the Emerald Grotto. Be the first to claim the Emerald Eye and return it to this place to be declared Jigow's champions of merit. Begin now!" And then he like claps his hand together with like a prestidigitation, like thaumaturgy type effect that just like sends a flash forward. Everyone go ahead and make a dexterity check. Just a straight dexterity check.
Straight dexterity.
I'm like a DM.
Alright, so we got 18, we got 6, we got 12, and we got 8.
It's 6, 15, 12, and 8. First one was the survival check.
Survival. Okay, 6, 15, 12, and 8. Gotcha. Alright. So as you all go to start racing in, what happens with this dexterity as Pelt, you're actually the fastest, and you go to like dash ahead of everyone like that feral instinct, but then out of the corner of your eye you see the other elder, the goblin who set forth all the potions, and he like tries to like wave at your attention, and he says, "Beware, Wastemender. When I was placing the amulet inside, the animals, they were restless, aggressive, resilient to my charms to pacify them. They had a red tint to their eyes." And so I think in that second, as like that catches everyone's attention, as the other party shoots ahead of you, and they get down into the grotto first. As they start splashing their way, it's like that, just like a half a second of hesitation that leaves you guys slightly behind. And as that happens, you make your way down into the Emerald Grotto. The icy cold waters coming up over your skin as you all start to part. There's like almost this glow of light coming from deeper down within the cavern. So can everyone see that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, looks cool.
Excellent.
Yep.
The chambers appear about like 15 feet high, and then like this tunnel as it starts to burrow down onto the water. You all drink their potions, take a deep breath for some reason, because I think only Finn's like the one that like doesn't really.
The potion would be in my pocket. I wouldn't even drink it.
Yes. But as that happens, the entrance to the grotto is a narrow cavern that leads to a murky pool of water. And then with that survival check from earlier, Pelt, you notice that the water actually goes down below the sea level. And like you think you'll be all completely submerged for the progression.
All right.
So we are doing one. So you all enter into that, and then you start passing through and down into the next room, and you see like the splashes up ahead of you as there's like that activity, and there's like a slight like silt raising up in the air. Like your perceptibility can only go so far into the distance, even with like as great a vision as just everything is cloudy and obscured. It's your skin is cold to the touch, and like I'm not sure how many of you would feel natural to if you're like trying to hold your breath for as long as possible, like uncertain of the breathing underwater. I don't know if any of you would have, besides like maybe Pelt and Finn would have had that experience.
Yeah, I mean the cool is sort of coming up, swimming, and then being more in, like Finn feels very comfortable and doesn't really even notice the cold, and he's trying to get as far ahead as quickly as possible. Looking back, he's saying something encouraging to everybody. He's like, "Okay, come on, guys, they're right up ahead here." Because you can sort of talk underwater. If you could breathe it, you can sort of talk it.
Mm-hmm.
And like looking back and trying to get everybody, as close as we can to these guys, because they're a little ahead of us.
Yeah, it has that weird like,
verbally,
but yeah, like it's like it's not gonna be like any difficulty on this. It'll just be like for most thing, everything's gonna be pretty obscured, and then most hearing and perception sight checks will be at disadvantage. And so you all progress down into further. There's this light that trickles from the grotto's entrance is now blotted out by the thick patches of kelp that fill this underwater chamber. There's this the tops of these kelp fronds are brushing the ceiling, but between the stalks you can spot a glimmer of light coming out from further ahead. Let me go ahead and put you in this.
Okay, kelp forest.
Kelp forest, yeah, this is...
So as you're all trying to make your way down through this kelp, it's like it's running against you and like everywhere, and it's just like hard and ropey and struggling to get through. Everyone make an athletics check.
Athletics.
-1. This will be good. 17. Be with that.
All right. So we had 8, 13, 17, and 5. So you see as Pelt and Finn are able to make their way through, and then the two like without their armor, like it's just weird and unnatural, and like you're not used to being down like this deep, like you're in water longer than you have ever been before, and it's just dark and unnatural, like that creepy darkness. You just hear those random sounds and bubbling off in the distance, and there's like movement out of the corner of your eye, and you look around, and it's just like more kelp.
So are we feeling like truly lost as we're moving now, or
I'd say you guys are
not
definitely
quite
able
there?
to find your way, but you two notice like those two struggling, and it takes you like a little bit longer. Like you're with the assistance, I think you two are able to like help like guide everyone through that room, but you feel like it took a little bit of more time than you might have hoped for. And as you finally make your way down through to this, following the cavern and tunnel, as silvery moonlight filters through a gap in the cavern's stone ceiling, as the sun is fully set overhead outside. And ahead, the path through this grotto splits into 2 tunnels. There's one to the south, and then one to the east. And as you see that, on the southern path, you see Maggie from the other team, still in her full armor, in her large brute ogre form, and she's like blocking the southern passage and then gesturing for you guys to all go down over towards the eastern path.
How wide is the space? Like,
she's blocking. Yeah, like
I
mean, she's an ogre, so like if it was like a person in the way, it'd probably be a way. But she's thing.
She's an ogre.
An ogre in full armor.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Is there any way I could maybe roll something like an insight to see if like this is some kind of trick?
That's exactly what I was going to ask.
Yeah, go ahead and roll an insight, and then if someone else wants to roll a perception.
26 on that insight, not 20.
Wow.
Love it. So on her face, actually, because like I don't know if you really had that much interaction with her throughout the day, but she seems like pretty like earnest and like just like the body language that she's like gesturing from across like that room before you guys close the distance is like you can still kind of see the faint trail of her team in the back behind her. So it's basically like, hey, we have this way, and you see like the rest of them already like rounded off around the corner. And basically she was just like, hey, we got this path, and just trying to block you from following at the moment.
Okay.
I'm kind of feeling the path of least resistance.
Yeah, but like with that 26 insight is like you read absolutely no like ill intent in her expression. Only with that.
Okay. I had an idea, but if we're gonna, I'll follow. I had an idea of trying to get her out of the way, but
I was past her, but that's fine. Yeah, so I'd probably like as we were kind of like approaching, just kind of like shake the head off to the other path and start kind of going that way. At this time too, I would also like to activate my Medal of the Conch, giving me a swim speed equal to my walking speed for an hour.
Perfect.
Oh damn.
Yes, because anyone who does not have a swim speed, you are moving at like everything is like basically like difficult terrain as you're swimming through at your speed of movement. And actually, good. Thank you for reminding me, because I need to do a couple handouts for y'all. Ooh. So show to players, this should be in your journals now, the potion of water breathing, which lets you do the thing, but also underwater when moving, you're this is not in there, but yeah, you're moving at half speed without a swim speed. When you're making a melee weapon attack, a creature that doesn't have a swimming speed, either natural or granted by magic, has disadvantage on the attack roll unless that weapon is a dagger, javelin, short sword, spear, or trident. A ranged weapon will automatically miss a target beyond the weapon's normal range. Even against a target within normal range, the attack roll has disadvantage unless that weapon is a crossbow, net, or a weapon that is thrown, like a javelin, including a spear, trident, or a dart. And then creatures and objects that are fully immersed in water have resistance to fire damage.
Look at that.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, so what do you all do?
Yeah, just
so you activate the conch. You have the swimming speed. You do. Yeah, you guys look around. You don't see any movement or anything off in the next chamber, the eastern path. But yeah, you see, even with that 9 and 8 perception, that like the other party is now fully out of sight down the other path behind Maggie, like through like that little small gaps that you can see behind her.
Well, Ludo's going to go ahead and use the Medal of the Maze.
Mm-hmm. What does that do?
I get advantage on wisdom checks and know the quickest route to the end of any non-magical path or maze for 1 hour.
Amazing.
Like it Amazing. I see what you did there.
Haha.
All right.
All right, so
looking 1, 2.
going that way, I think we should. And if you guys don't want to fight her, or I have a way maybe to pull her out of the way, we can just go this way. Points down the other direction.
So can I?
So with the
Can I
maze,
tell which way is
they
quicker?
both actually split. It splits both paths.
Okay.
So basically, because
Well,
because that's not, and that's not considering any obstacles or challenges on the way. If this is going off like, this is the path that will take you there fastest. Like both seem to be equidistant as far as you can tell.
Then we should go east because it's just an open aperture.
Yep. Let's go.
All right. So, all right, let's go. We just all head that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see Maggie. She, out of your perception, she waits until like you go around the corner and then starts to like slowly back up through that tunnel to go catch up with her party. So you all head through the eastern path. So you follow that trail downward through there, and as you make your way through the walls, ceiling, and floor of this chamber are covered in a bioluminescent algae, which emits a faint bluish glow that dimly lights the wide cavern. 2 large, jagged stone pillars, also coated with algae, stand at opposite ends of the chamber. Surrounding the far pillar, in front of the exit from this cavern, is a thick patch of bone-white seagrass.
Do any of these? Nothing about that is weird to me, right? As someone trained in herbalism.
The seagrass particularly, or the
Yeah, it's not like.
Go ahead and make a survival, survival. That would probably be a better stat for you.
Yeah, just curious.
Or I could even say medicine even would be a work. So yeah, the bone white grass, it seems like kind of twitch just a little bit with like the slight variations of movement as you guys like the force of like the waves you splash, create in the water as you enter the room, and you see it kind of like twitch and react just a little bit and then fall still just again. And you do know of weird types of underwater plants that have a natural biological reaction to try and like grab out and like sting things sometimes as they pass.
Okay.
A natural defense mechanism.
Yeah, I try and communicate that as best I can to maybe avoid touching.
Yeah, and then with that check, you also notice there's that patch of algae sitting like along the walls. It's like bioluminescent glow, and you definitely know that those are easily harvestable as well.
I scoop up a handful on the way.
Yeah, you guys are, as you're making your way through. Does everyone have dark vision?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so the only reason you were able to see all of this without your dark vision is because of this glow. Like, this was the light you were following from the last room, but as you peer further into the tunnel past all that like bone white seagrass, it just becomes pitch black. Like the tunnels are just like low and narrow and just rocky bits and outcroppings sticking out at odd angles where you guys have to like squeeze yourself through, twisting and turning one at a time, single file, to get through these narrow passageways at points to get into this chamber. It is suffocating. It is crushing. You can feel the pressure building in your eardrums as you're diving deeper and deeper underwater.
Yeah, horrifying.
Is the white grass covering the exit? Is that where I'm picking up? Okay.
Yes.
Is it as high as the exit, or?
Pretty much. Yeah, it's like there's this these 2 large stone pillars that stand at the opposite end of that chamber, and they are surrounded with this grass. So like pretty much get around through it. It's like on both ends. It seems like it's as narrow of a reach.
Okay. Hey, ideas. I have one. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand and see
Uh-huh.
if I can and see if I can just push the grass to one side with the Mage Hand to see the best way to clear like it to straightest point from where we are to through that grass.
Uh-huh.
Get close to it and start like move it with the Mage Hand to see where it's gonna make it the easiest
Yeah.
path for us.
So like,
So,
because it's like if it's like this like sticking out like giant pillar and like this grass is probably like, sticking off like if there's like a 2 feet of room on like either side of this pillar, this ghost grass is like sticking out like lazily curled up, like maybe sometimes touching the tunnel like wall, sometimes like maybe up to a foot short, but that's like little spools like bristles of a broom just like floating lazily in the water that seem to be like covering through both sides. So even if like you can do a mage hand, you might have like one person who's smaller might be able to squeeze through that spot with a little bit of assistance, but it doesn't like it wouldn't be able to like permanently clear off a spot, you feel like, with that.
Right.
Ludo's gonna cantrip cast light just right at the path, just straight into the plants.
Excellent. Yeah, so it's just a good beacon, and you get like a good view as like the shadows start to cast and like actually dance around like on the walls, and just like they think like look like little fingers that are just starting to like uncurl and reach out in the shadows. And as you look in the water, no physical change. But yeah, they don't seem to have any reaction to light.
all right.
How big is this chamber? Like, how far forward do we need to go?
It's probably like 15 feet down towards like through the whole tunnel. So like, 5-10 feet ahead of you, you start getting into like where that pillar is with the ghost grass. And then it's like another like 10 feet after that to get out of the chamber once you get past that.
Okay.
Anybody have a machete?
Okay, I have an idea. And I'm gonna get within. I gotta look here real quick. I can get within 10 feet of the grass, as close to the grass as it is. Swim up to it, and I'm going to cast Ice Knife, and I'm going to use a point, a sorcery point, to change Ice Knife into an Acid Knife, and I'm going to hit the unpillared one of the sides of the pillar, like right where the grass is like sort of growing, and have that explode into acid. Hopefully burn some of that grass away.
So I'm not going to make you roll to hit a rock.
Pillar.
Because,
I mean, I could fail.
So it is a throne, but it's not at disadvantage as per underwater rules.
Yeah, because it's 60 feet range,
throne,
so I'm trying to get close, and it's magical dagger. It's not like I'm hauling off an actual dagger.
Exactly. So yeah, and the magic is technically unaffected. So just roll one quick spell attack roll, and then just roll the ice knife so you can get the damage as well for the thing.
17 to hit.
Yeah.
And then
fuck that rock up.
The goal is just to make it explode into acid and
so you see like in the water, just like that quick like bubbling reaction as like that acid just coats all that grass in that patch, and then it leaves a 5-foot sphere wide hole in that grass that you guys feel like you can get through pretty easily.
Okay, I think that worked. I'll go through first since I was the one who thought the idea. I'm like, I'll go and start going through. Unless the grass needs to make a DC 15 dex save.
Yeah, it's grass.
All right.
Go ahead and just make a quick dex save for me real fast.
Well, I was staying 10 feet
with
away.
Advantage. As you go through it, yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
But it will be with advantage.
Dex save.
Oh.
8.
Yikes. Yikes.
All right. So with like a dying blast of like tendril, it just deals 1 damage of necrotic damage back to you, but you feel it's like a little sap of poison is not effective to you.
Yeah, I'm just like, ow. Okay, whatever. Let's go.
Ludo's gonna try to follow.
Amazing. So you guys are making your way down deeper into this tunnel, and you feel yourselves diving deeper and deeper. Like Finn, you probably realize you're like almost like 30, almost bordering on to 40 feet deep underwater, as you are making your way through this narrow and winding tunnel. So after like the first two people are able to get through, it just kicks up little bits of silt that like it's like shining a flashlight in thick dense fog where it just hits that like wall and you're just light blinded. It's like the opposite of that, and just dark murky green, it's just grossness, like it's impossible to actually determine almost at where you're at anywhere. Yes, as a matter of fact, some of you who are not used to deeping and diving underwater for these expanded periods of time, you start to feel almost a little heady, that throbbing in your head. You're able to breathe easily, like you're inhaling and expelling oxygen even through the water easily, but you just feel that intense pressure building up within you as you guys keep going deeper and deeper within. The tunnel opens into a cavernous space. There's rays of moonlight that shine through a wide crack in the ceiling, which sits about 10 feet above where the water level breaks. And then one side of the chamber is covered in the crumbled and muddy remains of a landslide. And as you all swim into this area, the ripples course through the water, and more of this rocky debris begins to shift and slide down into the water towards you. Everyone make a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, boy. Okay.
5, 13, 9, 13. So everyone will take 8 points of landslide bludgeoning damage. Half of that on the save. So Morgan will take the full. Everyone else half. And then this landslide, you see just like a few of these like large boulders crumble, and they partially block the exit behind you. And like it kicks up this cloud of dirt and dust that fills the air. Everyone, go ahead and make a. Well, actually, yeah. What do you guys do?
The cloud of dirt is obfuscating our view. Is that the big thing going on?
Spreading out from like the exit behind you as you enter in, or as like as you're swimming up from the north and you enter in. What you think, if you've like trying to been following, and then there was like the water broke, and there was like a 10-foot gap between the water and the surface of the cavern where the moonlight was shining through. And as like the ripples of the water, as you all entered and surfaced, you saw those like that landslide start to pile in down into the water and just like muck everything up as you all like submerged yourselves.
Oh, boy.
Okay, and I might be envisioning this wrong. There is a surface point that we can breach to get into the cavern. We just don't necessarily know which way to go.
No, like that was there was another tunnel that was still underwater that like went in that you saw, but like you just noticed there was like that break in the water, like you saw like that surface tension. So I might have misspoke. I don't even know if you guys wanted the surface or not, but it was like as soon as you came into that room, that landslide that you noticed like shoved in from above the water surface. And
I gotcha.
Yeah, sorry.
Gotcha.
Okay, I'm gonna try and cast Fairy Fire.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, so everything in a 20-foot cube, so 20 feet on all sides, is outlined in let's do blue and blue light. So that's each object. So it should give us some topography.
Awesome. So that's amazing. That kind of does like light up almost like a blast of like a magical sonar and like area as you like point towards where you think was the direction. Go ahead and with that make a investigation or survival check with advantage.
Well, would I still know the direction from my amulet?
Yes.
All right.
So yeah, with that survival, as you cast that fire, and you see Ludo helps like point you in the right direction where to like cast that fairy fire to help light up that area. And with that fairy fire, it says all items.
All objects.
Awesome. Who has what are passive perceptions?
10.
16.
Oh, there it is. 13.
15.
Ooh, so the 15 and 16 with the passive perceptions, you notice as that fairy fire like comes and lays and settles down deep down at the bottom of this cavern, like down like where it's like probably like 40 feet deep. You see 2 items get like lit up, like a small like little glass bottle looking item, and then a like a long cylindrical item that is like half buried into the silt.
Hell yeah. There's a secondary thing here. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if they fail the dexterity saving throw. So.
All right, so everyone roll dex saves.
I'm glowing.
Oh, now I roll a crit.
Love it. I mean, you guys crit pretty fucking well.
And it might help us if we're glowing for a little bit until he drops concentration. It might actually help.
Mm. Yeah, it's like you guys are actually able to like now like clearly see where each other at and like stuff for the first time. By the way, just for the sake of it, can I just get everyone's marching order?
I think Finn will be in front. He feels pretty confident in water. Try to get it run as much as he can.
Awesome.
Ludo's probably staying close to Finn.
So Ludo second.
Yep.
He can
I'm probably third.
Yeah, if he can keep up, yeah.
It might be Morgen.
Well, I feel like I would kind of be tailing behind just in case anyone else is struggling with swimming, because I got that swimming thing right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Explains why you got hit so hard by that cave-in.
Yeah.
yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, you guys are able to kind of mitigate, but like with that thing, you see those items on the bottom of the pool, and then you see the path kind of outlined as like all the plants and rocks are coated with that fire, and you see like even through like the obfuscated silted out cave, you're able to clearly find a path in front of you as it goes down deeper into darker depths below.
Hell yeah. Let's do it.
Awesome. So you guys
Are we picking those items up as are we heading down? Ludo, are we heading down or around to the cave-in exit? I heard 2 directions. I heard there's an expanse down, and then there's an exit out one way.
Yeah, well, we're heading towards the exit. I don't think we saw, or I didn't see.
I definitely didn't see the items.
I would definitely go down there and scoop them up.
Awesome. And you oh, excuse me. You have the swimming speed, right?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So yeah, that wouldn't delay you any further. As like everyone else starts to head towards the exit, you can just like dip down and then come back up real fast with the items that you noticed. So you had in you with a quick inspection, but looks like a potion of healing and a soggy spell scroll wrapped up in like a tight like leather bound. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Oh, I'm great at those.
Got a spell scroll.
Soggy spell scroll.
Yep, add 1 soggy spell scroll to your inventory, please.
Since Ludo's eliminated, he's going to he still has his long sword. He's just going to cast light on the long sword and use it like a torch.
Amazing. All right. So yeah, you have this light ahead of you, and you guys are stout, and it's this. You thought it was tight before, and you all make your way deeper into this cave, single file. The bubbling of your air is like you're breathing in and out, and all you hear is just that pace of movement ahead of you, the occasional bubbling sound, and a rocky shift and slide as like a little like boulder tumbles off the cave above you and down into the water. And you're falling down deeper and deeper, and that pressure is building more and more. It's almost disorienting. I mean, Finn, how deep do you think you've dived before? With your background specifically.
My background, he's been down pretty far. I mean, you see him like doing what he's been taught to clear out the, to try to equalize the pressure in his head. Not like holding your nose or anything, but he's like adjusting and making sure he's equalizing as he goes down. Not thinking to tell other people because that's just he was told, but it's one of those things that as he grew up, he was told how to do it. But I think he's been down probably close to 75 feet before it got like real like too much where he would like have to come back up. So I'd say about 75 feet down, because I think that's like straight down, not through tunnels, like straight down. You just the kids would see how far they would go down. That's the point where he would like turn back up and be like, no, I don't like that.
Yeah, because it's been a bit of time. Like, you feel like this. Could you do this distance and amount of time underwater on one air breath? How long has it been? Surely not more than 15, 30 seconds, a minute, 2 minutes. You're losing track, and you reach a point where like that pressure builds, and then you're looking around and it is so pitch black and suffocating, and you actually feel this might be the deepest you've personally ever been.
So it's further than that. Okay.
Yes. Pelt.
Yes.
Are you able to transform into swimming creatures?
I'm not high enough level yet.
So you have not really experienced with underwater at that much, you don't think?
Nope, nothing like this.
Yeah, so for the rest of you, that is the uncomfortableness that Finn, a person who should be comfortable with that's what they're feeling. You are all in a nightmare, dark world right now.
Oof. Brutal.
It is the darkest you've ever been. It is a suffocating, crippling pressure. You can feel it crushing in on you and on your bones and brain inside of you. It's hard to think straight. It's like last time you've been out at the pub and you had way too many rounds. It is worse than that. I need everyone to make Constitution saving throws. Finian with advantage. You called it.
Yeah, I mean,
Y'all narkin. Finian, you actually remember this is called the Kraken's Laugh.
Okay. And when I remember that, I'm gonna now I'm starting to realize I'm uncomfortable. And at that point, I will sort of stop and turn and try to get everybody to then I'm remembering I need to tell these guys how to equalize, and I'm trying to explain how to do it with hailing and causing your brain causing pressure in your head, this is how you guys do it. I was taught this a long time ago. It's the best way to equalize as you're going down. I'm sort of explaining how to do it just to try to get them, because now I'm getting nervous because I'm uncomfortable. And it's just I think we'll be okay. Yeah, this is what was it? Was it Kraken's Laugh?
The Kraken's Laugh, yes.
Oh. So, coming down this deep, sometimes it can really mess with you. I mean, they call it the Kraken's Laugh. It's just you're gonna feel more uncomfortable, I think. Let's try to do this, and I explain the whole thing. And see if that helps. Let's see if that helps out, guys. I'm now trying to hold the look of panic in my face a little bit of oh crap, what's going on here?
But yeah, with those, actually, how do you guys, with those con saves, you all pass, you don't succumb, but you are able to, with that help and assistance, he helps you, kind of overcome that immediate feeling of, losing yourself.
Okay, good for now. And as far as we just keep on growing, huh?
The tunnel continues on further and deeper. And as you make your way in, there's a small round, like the tunnel widens out for a bit, like 15 feet on each side. And you see like the hooking like curve ahead of you into the darkness. And there's just this faint, slight of a glimmer. And then the high perceptions, they see it first. A school of tiny fish, their bodies shimmering in the dim light, swirls in a formation like an undulating silvery pillar in the complete center of this room.
Whoa. Anybody else see that?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Yes, you all see it with the light.
Morgen, you think? What do you guys think? It's like a whole school just swirling.
Yeah, and there's like dancing in like the almost like dead center of the room, and it's like 10 to 15 feet wide on each side of the cavern.
Ludo's got to use his divine sense to detect good and evil in this area.
What do those detect exactly?
The location of any celestial fiend or undead.
Amazing. Fiend or undead. That divine wave of energy unleashes off of you. That radiant glow suffuses into the watery chamber and rolls out like a wave of gas under the water. And as it hits that school of silvery fish, their eyes snap and they all look back at you at once with a red glow that's illuminated. With your divine sense, roll initiative.
Shit.
Oh, all right.
Divine sense of roll initiative.
You get fiend. A tint of fiend, not full fiend.
Hint of fiend.
Not full.
Those are not too terrible initiatives.
So we got
not too bad.
Ludo is 15. We got Finn at 14. We got Pelt at 13, and then Morgen at 12. Awesome. So in this small, dark chamber with the depths of the water crushing you, and this fiend fish, as they glow with this water, they swim straight up right towards Ludo, who hit them with that glow, and they're going to go ahead and have you taken damage yet? Throughout
I
everything?
have.
You have.
Yep.
So they're going to use their blood frenzy and attack you to the advantage. So it's going to be a 12 to hit.
A 12 misses.
All right, you see the swarm, all just like this flurry of school, just like all swarm around you, and like this like small like cyclone, and they just like try and take one at a time, small bites in at you. And even though you're not wearing your armor, you're able to just like kind of swat them away with that like radiant energy. They just like divert at the last second. All right, next up is Ludo.
Ludo
Finn on deck.
Ludo's going to cast Bless on. Don't I get 3 targets? Yeah, I'm going to cast it on Finian, Pelt, and Morgen.
All right.
Awesome. So you hit that bless spell. So make sure you remember you're concentrating on that. And then who did you all hit?
Everybody but myself.
Everyone. Oh, yeah. Everyone but Ludo. Awesome. So that is your turn. Anything else? Any bonus actions or movement? This swarm is swirling right up on you.
Yeah, I probably can't really get away from them, even if I tried. No, I think that's it. Well, actually, can I use my bonus action to use my feat of Shield Master, try to shove the fish away, just to try to move away?
Do you need to make an attack with that, or is it just a bonus action shove?
Just says, Oh, never mind. It says if I take an attack action on my
Okay,
turn, I can
perfect,
use the
yeah.
bonus action to shove. So
Awesome. Yeah, I just wanted
Never
to double
mind.
check. Still, great thinking. Next up is going to be Finn with Pelt on deck. This swarm of these like quipper silver fiend fish. You saw that red glow as they got hit by that divine sense, and they start swarming around Ludo.
Really wishing Ludo wasn't there right now. It's a bummer.
you gonna hit me again with the ice knife?
Also,
Maybe.
just to double check, your AC is beats 12 even without your armor on still, right? Because you
Yeah, it's
you have Dex.
13. Yeah.
And that's why I just double checked. I was like, wait a minute, because no shield as well, or shield.
I didn't say that I took the shield off, so
Gotcha. So you got the shield. No, that's fine.
yeah.
All right, it's me then. Hey, it's me. I just don't like any of this. I'm gonna get. I don't want to go away from Ludo though. I'm like probably pretty close to Ludo at this point, and it went to him. I'm gonna move. Try to move away a little bit, just so I don't get in the way of this feeding frenzy. And then, oh boy, I'm going to hold action. And that's the move. I'm gonna hold an action. I'm gonna hold a spell action, and if held action, and if it has to be one thing, because I want to. If they come after me, like if they come toward me, I'm going to, which hopefully will release them from him. I'm going to cast Rhymes Binding Ice. If they come toward me, so I'm sort of holding a spell, like getting ready, for if they come at me.
Gotcha.
Hold on, I gotta think here. Everybody's pretty close together. Yeah.
And because I will say, you do know as a spellcaster, if you ready a spell and the trigger doesn't happen, you still do waste the spell slot.
Yeah, you still waste it. Actually, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna change it from that to Ice Knife. I'm gonna change it to Ice Knife because I'm still probably within 60 feet range.
Yes, because it is in his space.
It is in his space, so I'll wait. If it comes toward me, I'm gonna wait until it's away from him before I cast this spell.
Awesome. So, like, if it comes towards you, or if it separates from Ludo.
Leaves his space. Yeah.
So that's the trigger. If Ludo separates from the swarm, that's when you activate.
And I'll just say like, "You get out of the way, buddy. I can do something," because he's a little gun shy after the last time. So you see him like conjuring in one hand, in his left hand, he's like trying to pull the energy from his knife.
Oh yeah.
And I think that would be my turn.
All right, readied.
Awesome. Ready in action.
Awesome. So next up will be Pelt, and then up will be Morgen after that, and then back up to the top.
All right. Well, my intent is I want to use Thunder Wave. And it's a 15-foot cube that emanates from me.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that means I have to like optimally I would like swim out like into the grouping of fish. Does that make sense, right?
Yeah, because we actually had this debate in the Swallows of like whether for this like if you become the center of that cube or if you're able to like kind of place the cube like arranging out from you. I think for this one it emanates away from you, like you are the epicenter of this spell specifically.
Yeah, that's my interpretation.
Yes. So for the sake you see like this swarm of tiny fish are like in the same space as Ludo, essentially. Like they are occupying the same like area of him, just like swarming around in like a frenzy trying to take their bites.
Okay. So we can see them as a swarm.
Yes.
Would I be able to swim out to try and hit the swarm but not Ludo? Is that a little too?
They're pretty ingrained right now with each other.
Pretty tight in there. Okay.
I never realized how awesome swarms are. Oh my god.
Swarms are rough.
Well, we don't want to hurt Ludo.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Eh?
Level 3 is low.
Yeah. Um, I could always go for like cause wounds. Oh no, here we go. Okay.
Mm.
This could be good. I'm gonna try and do frostbite.
Ooh.
You cause numbing frost to form on one creature that you can see within range. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, they take 1d6 cold damage, and it has disadvantage on the next weapon attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn.
Con save. All right.
So I just
That's
gotta
a-
see it.
That's
Yeah.
an unnatural one.
Ooh. A
Dirty,
natural
dirty one. Dirty, dirty one.
Con save, people. Con saves.
Con save.
It's a swarm, y'all. Like it's you know, that's not strong. Hell yeah! So how much damage does it take, or does it take?
D6 cold damage. Don't know if that matters. And then they have disadvantage on their next attack.
Awesome. Yeah. Are you able to roll it, or I want me to? Because I do need to show you, because there's a way to, like, on the D&D Beyond, when you go to, like, manage spells, you can add this stuff in, but I'll try and take the time to, like, help walk you through that.
Yeah, I just need to get it figured out. For whatever reason, my spell list on my character sheet is, like, all whacked out, but, yeah.
Here, do you want to roll a d6 instead of taking?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I thought you were rolling. I thought you needed to roll the saving throw, but...
Oh no, I rolled a 1 on the saving throw and the d6, so I'm
Oh.
like, you don't want my d6 roll. I'm gonna be a nice DM. I'm gonna you roll, yeah.
There we go. Thanks.
Fuck yeah. All right, so you did that. That's and then what was the other effect of it?
They get disadvantage on their
Disadvantage.
next attack.
Disadvantage.
Next
awesome.
attack, yeah.
Gotcha. All right, so that brings us to Morgan. Or any movement, because you guys are kind of like just like in the back in the beginning of this like little narrow chamber, and it's just like sitting in the center as it came up to Ludo right as you came into the entrance.
Well, the last thing I want to do is gum up the works as we are discovering with a range-heavy, spell-heavy team here.
Yep. Heard that.
So
heard that.
Yeah, I'm keeping distance from the pack, but, you know, if there is a way to advantageously move out of the way further out of the line of fire, then sure, do that.
Yeah, you like kind of steered off to like the edge of the cavern wall, trying
Yeah.
not to like touch it too much to like bring any more silt or clouds of dust into the chamber. Brings us up to Morgan then.
I would like to kind of move up into the fray. Ludo is the one being attacked, correct?
Yes.
So I'd like to get to pretty much, within melee range, just kind of by Ludo. And I would imagine out of my available weaponry, I probably would have left my mace, which is what I would normally be using, up with my armor. But I also come equipped with a javelin, so I will just attempt to stab like a couple fish.
Those don't have disadvantage underwater.
And a D4.
He has a swim speed now.
I do have swim speed, but it's an even 10.
Still misses you. That javelin just like sails like it's like a small hole parts in the school as they just dodge around it, and it just like goes and sails and hits into the other side of the wall, and a small dust of cloud kicks up, and now this chamber is dimly like lightly obscured officially.
And that'll be it, I think.
All right, that'll bring us back up to the top of the round for the swarm, and as they, with all of this noise and these spells and the sounds happening inside this chamber, you all hear off in the distance.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that sounds comforting.
And then
Is
the
that a
swarm,
crack laugh?
and then the swarm continues to bite into. Actually, they missed him. They got hit by the other person. Let's make a quick D20 roll. Alright, it's going to keep attacking it on Ludo.
Alright.
And is going to take its bite at advantage. So 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That'd be a straight
Max
roll.
damage.
Be a straight roll.
Oh yeah, because it was at disadvantage. So 23 was the first one anyway.
God damn it.
Unfortunately,
Sorry,
for
Ludo. Sorry, Ludo, I tried.
20 piercing
Cool.
max damage on this
Ouch.
swarm. Oh my god. But so you guys see blood start to drift up in the water as they are finding purchase and just attacking Ludo. And that will bring us to Ludo with Finn on deck.
Alright. Let's Man, I don't know what to do. I guess I'm gonna try swinging my sword at the swarm.
Awesome. Yes, you pull out your weapon, make it a disadvantage attack roll. Add a no bless. Oh yeah, make a Constitution saving throw on your bless as well.
Oh yeah.
All right, you maintain the
Nice
bless. That was a really good con save, yeah, because you needed the 10 or above. But so at disadvantage, it's a 7 to hit, unfortunately. So yeah, blue. Like the swarmers are just like swirling all around you. Like you just don't even know where to swing. And then like as you pull out your sword, like one just comes in and bites at your wrist, and just like ah, and puts your swing off kilter. Back up to Finn with Pelt on deck.
Okay, so
Wait! I'm not done yet.
Oh, sorry. I'm going too fast now. Apologies.
Move. No, it's cool. Just move.
So well, I'm gonna take that bonus action to use the shield shove. and
Yes.
Get out of the swarm. And
Awesome.
swim as fast as I can away.
So what does as an automatic shove? What does read as?
It says if you take the attack action on your turn, you can use a bonus action to try to shove a creature within 5 feet of you with your shield.
Say try, does that? Yeah, it doesn't read any save or anything against it.
No.
Awesome. Yeah, perfect. So they push them 5 feet away from you, as the swarm is, and like since it is a swarm, but like that like blast as you like swing, and even though you miss, you're able to push forward with your shield, and that next like momentum as you turn back around, and that like puts a little blast of like water pressure wave that just clears the area in front of you, and they all like swish back like 5 feet away from you. Finn,
So
does that
then-
trigger your action?
Yeah, that triggers my action.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
Yep. So as I see Ludo's clear, I will ice knife down at it. Just a standard attack. A 25 to hit.
Oh, definitely hits that swarm.
They need a dex save of 15. I think
Dex
4
save.
piercing damage initially.
21 on the save. That was a good one.
Okay,
Roll.
so they just get. I think it's.
They take the piercing and it, because you hit a fish, and that's part of the swarm, and then they'll take half the cold. Because I'm going to count the swarm as taking the extra AoE damage since it is multiple creatures. Like you hit one fish with that knife, and then everything else in that area. But you know, it all counts towards the total swarm HP.
Gotcha.
So that would be 6 total rounded down.
Okay.
Awesome.
That's fine for a held action.
Beautiful. And then it is anything else from Ludo?
Nope, just taking full movement to get as far away as I can from that.
Awesome.
swarm.
Awesome. So they will take an opportunity attack on you.
Well, does it get the opportunity attack if I shoved it away?
It got shoved.
Oh,
5
yeah,
feet.
sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, I got moved.
Ah.
Okay. Oh. So it uses a shove rule. The wording.
Okay.
I do believe so. I think just as the bonus action rather than as like your attack.
It would be the same as so.
Gotcha. Okay.
Could be
Yeah, I thought the
strength or
wording,
strength.
how he said it, meant that you do the shove. But yeah, if it's like, it needs to be a shove like action as you do that. I mean, it's a swarm. It's not going to beat your athletics. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. So we're not going to retcon that in this moment.
I think too. I think too, being in water, if you're like flinging your shield, you're probably like moving like the water out too. Like
Exactly. That's why I was like, oh, that's a dope move. So like 100%. So no, I love that. That's thank you for that heads up, Bo. Anything else in that turn you moved away? They are not in your space, so no opportunity. So back up to Finn, fresh off of a ready to action.
Awesome. So fish are on one side of us. Like, are we? It gets shoved away from the party because I know the party went sort of going to like one side. Because I think I went one direction, and how I'm envisioning this is Ludo was sort of in the center.
Mm-hmm.
Pelt went. I went one way. I think Pelt went the other. Is like sort of how my mind's working on this, and Morgan's sort of like around Ludo area. So I'm thinking it's like sort of between us. Like is like how I'm interpreting this movement.
So, because you were in the front, and then it like swarmed in at him because it smelled the blood from that and that divine sense. So it kind of like you would have been kind of to the side of it. But he, I imagine Ludo, when you like came in, you were facing forward as this came up to you, this swarm. Would that be correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Ludo, did you go toward? Mine's hard. Ludo, did you go toward Pelt, or did you go away from the whole party? Like, or did you go to someone else? Just gotta figure out AOE.
I think
stuff
at that
going on.
point,
I figure out where I'm going.
Yeah, I think at that point, Ludo was probably just like frantically trying to get away. So, yeah. So I don't.
So I'm going to swim over toward Ludo and get in front of Ludo for once, or the side of Ludo. I think I did before, and trying to get. So if I shoot a cone, I'm not going to get any of my other party. I don't know where the swarm is like right now in my head in comparison to everybody else. I'm gonna try to not get anybody else in a 30. How big is this area we're in? It's big, right?
Oh, like 15 feet on each side, 15 feet tall.
It's not as much as I wanted it to be. 15 feet tall, 50 feet over. So if I go around, man, I got 30 feet's a big old cone. It's a big cone. I think. All right, nope, that doesn't work. I don't like that either. Man, like a one-trick pony at this point. Like, I can do one thing, and that's ice knife people. I'm not a fighter.
Hey, if it works.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking at this point. It's away from us. I'm gonna one-trick pony the crap out of this, and I'm gonna throw another ice knife. But seeing Ludo is injured quite a bit, not liking that, you see the ice knife form in his hand like he's going to pull it back and throw it. And as he throws it, instead of ice, you see just this lightning blast come from his finger. He's changing it to, he's transmuting that to a lightning strike instead of ice. So he'll cast Ice Knife again for the umpteenth time, because that's like, I can ice knife people, and when it explodes, so 26 I'm assuming hits, because I'm rolling pretty decently. 6 points on if it fail the dex save is electric. Well, not thunder. I want the electrical damage. That would be lightning damage.
Yeah, so we're gonna do
You see the storm aura sort of go around him. He's just like and just lightning strike these things.
So I put a lot of thought into this for the campaign.
I know,
and I was thinking, like,
and water. Yeah.
There are no official mechanics on lightning and water. So here is how I'm going to rule it, because lightning underwater, it is known to expand and branch. So any AoE effect in water for lightning, I'm gonna actually home rule as is doubled.
I was just gonna say doubled, so it'd be a 10-foot perimeter. It would be 10-foot diameter.
Oh yeah,
I was thinking that too. I was like, 10, like doubling it is a good amount.
And then as far as any sort of damage resistance, I think we're gonna do because I think double's already a pretty hefty homebrew rule, so I'm not going to try and do anything of like con saves for extra damage or damage extra resistances, but I think just that like any 1 point in water that has electricity happen is going to like spread out in an area around it, and then if it is an area of effect, it will double that effect.
Okay.
Sounds
And
good.
I think that's pretty fun.
Yeah, and that's probably gonna get like just being angry that his one friend is hurt. He just sort of went off a little bit further than he has before. Not normally being around people. You know, he's been alone for a while, so not being around people, he's just sort of like, "You hurt my friend," and just shocked it, not thinking of consequences.
Yes. So for that one, I'm gonna say 10 foot instead of 5, right?
Yeah, so it's at least gonna hit probably me.
Because Pelt went off to the side to the very edge, and Morgan, you were hanging back, right?
I would have been within melee range
Oh, you were in melee range, so yeah,
because I swung with my javelin.
So I think,
they got
Pelt
shoved
is
5
out
feet
of the
away,
range. Yeah, but also since it is a storm that was occupying his space, I counted it past him for opportunity attack, but it didn't get like, there's only like the one space between them. So I'm gonna say Ludo, Finn, and Morgan will also take that lightning damage.
Oh, you gotta make a.
Do we get dex saves for the lightning?
Yeah, the dex saves for the damage.
Okay, I still take it though.
Yeah, I still take it too. 6 points of lightning.
Mm-hmm.
And at that point, I am not looking great. You got it.
No.
So, how are you judging it? Because the spell Ice Knife doesn't actually say it's a. If you pass it, he doesn't actually take the extra damage. But do you want how do you want to do it with the lightning?
What is the wording? Does it say half on?
No.
fail?
It says. The target and each creature within 5 feet, which is now 10, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take 2d6 with the core damage.
If it doesn't say half on fail, then
Not half
no
on
damage.
fails.
Yeah, as written, that means no damage on the pass. Hell yeah. So Ludo does not take that, but Finn and Morgan does. Hell yeah. But no, still, like with that swarm, it's describe how that knife, as that unexpected burst of lightning.
Like I said, not thinking, not doing. He just goes over Ludo, sort of almost tries to push him out of the way with his right arm as he just nearly shoots. He thinks it's an ice knife, and then it zaps from his finger as a lightning bolt, and it hits the one fish and just goes and does that whole big expansion and goes. And the lightning streaks around, hitting the fish, and then you just see 2 errant beams hit Ludo in the shoulder, or I'm sorry, it hits Finny in the shoulder, and then Morgan just wings her, and he looks around, and he's like, "Oh shit, that wasn't good either. Oh man, not used to people around me." And then he just sort of tries to get behind, and he skirts behind Ludo at that point, because he's like, "And I'm gonna go back to my safe spot, which is behind the big guy with the shield," and sort of sits there. That's my movement. That's my bonus. I don't have a bonus because I'm a sorcerer. I don't get bonuses.
You should be able to be doing points to convert, between spell slots.
Not yet.
Point, but yeah,
Not
not
yet.
yet. Okay. Hell yeah.
Not yet.
No, fuck yeah. But
That's
no,
it.
straight, amazing. Hey, I don't, yeah, because, I think Ludo or Finn has that moment flashing back to his memories, his training with the leader of the Water Shari. Yeah, the great.
Yep.
And she's just like, "Now, remember this. No matter how heated things may be, beware of electricity, underwater, attack effects. You have powerful magic, grandchild. You must be careful." And I just imagine his daydreaming.
Yeah, I'm just sort of looking off into space, oh man,
But that stark memory flashes back to you, and you have maybe even like a little bit of like that heartstring tug of like, how long has it been?
It's been at least. I'd have to do the math on like how far he's traveled a long way.
Yeah.
But it's been, probably half a year.
Fair enough.
So,
Yeah.
probably half a year or so at this
Not
point.
not wanting to
Get
go
family.
home, but you're starting to
yeah.
miss those warm things.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck yeah. Great turn though. Next up we have Pelt.
Yeah. How are people's HP looking?
Fucking bad.
Yeah, Ludo's sitting at 7 of 33.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Not super good.
just at half.
Yeah.
which is 12 of 24.
I'm at
Okay.
11 of 33.
Okay. Copy that.
Yeah. Because also I definitely don't mind the above board talking about health sometimes, because like otherwise it's in players, so it's like, how do you feel? On a scale of 1 to 23, I feel like a 7. Like, like that's just, we don't need to get into that.
Just looking around and seeing the blood sort of floating up,
Yes,
and be like,
there's very visual clues and
it's not like we're on land and you're like, I can't tell if he's bleeding through his shirt. You're like, there is a lot of blood around
Yeah.
my party.
It's just all murky in here with blood.
Really
It's not
murky.
good. Well, somebody had a healing potion, right? I'm just figuring who to focus on with some cure light wounds.
Morgan has a healing potion, but I think at this point,
And who's next up in initiative?
Morgan's next up. I
oh,
think.
yeah. Oh no,
Okay.
the fish is dead, by the way.
Oh, the fish
we
is
kill
dead.
it?
Oh, great.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I missed
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
Sorry. When I threw it to you, I think I forgot to say the final part of like
okay.
explain like how that looked. Yeah, no, that's.
Oh, gotcha.
So we
gotcha.
have blood floating around and a bunch of dead fish floating around.
Yes.
So Ludo's the most,
Blood.
right?
Fish.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Ludo,
Oh.
I got you with some
Oh,
cure
I'll pass my
light
healing
wounds.
potion off to him.
There you go.
All right. Yeah, I'll drink that.
Wayne, how you drink it underwater?
Ignored it.
You open it and then just sort of catch it in your mouth.
Just wrap
Ever
my
seen it?
lips around the. Suck
Fork
it
and then
down.
Pop it off with your tongue. Yeah, there you go.
And so, has anyone ever had to do a shot of Underbergs?
No.
It's
No,
a
but-
bitters that comes
Serious?
in like a little super tiny bottle that has like a weird like the top ad, and you have to like take the top off, and then you just clench it between your teeth and stick your like head straight back with it like straight
Oh my
up,
gosh.
and it just like dribbles out. If you do dashes of bitters, like that's kind of how it comes out. So you
Okay.
have to just like use really weird, stupid techniques, and it's just a very strong, strange bitters that bartenders like to drink behind the bar when they can't take actual shots. But they're boozy as hell because prohibition. So
Might as well.
Anyway,
At that point, if you know he's dead,
Yes.
like, no, the fish is now dead. That we now know that. Finn's gonna look at Ludo, like, okay, okay, those fish took some bites out of you. That was a rough go at. How's everybody looking? Can't do anything about it, but I'm just curious.
I'm doing really well. I've only taken the 4 damage from the landslide, so
All right.
I'm solid.
Hurt. Okay, good. It looks over at Morgan like, because Morgan's like, how old is Morgan? Like, not like how old does Morgan look?
She looks really old.
Yeah. So he's looking at Morgan like, are you?
she is
okay?
an elf that looks old.
Yeah, exactly. You okay?
Ancient.
You got hit by some rocks, and I accidentally hit you with lightning.
I'll be okay, dear. This isn't my first rodeo.
That's great. Okay.
I've been to a lot of rodeos.
I've been to a lot of rodeos. Ludo, you feeling better now after you had a little drink?
That drink felt good, and he starts rubbing some of his wounds and uses 5 points of lay on hands.
Cool.
Did anybody else hear that roar or low growl or whatever you want to describe it as during the battle?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like half trying to ignore it because killer fish.
Yeah,
Now, looking back, I don't like that.
yeah, just to keep our alert up.
Ooh, nice cure wounds. But yeah, you're all sitting and you're listening out as those heartbeats of adrenaline fade, your head pounding with the pressure and the darkness around you as the blood and silt begin to slowly settle as you all take a second to catch your breaths before heading on into the next room. And with that, let's take a quick little bio break.
Alright.
Oh boy.
BRB.
That no reason. That can't mean anything. Hell yeah, how y'all feeling?
So good.
Good.
I'm having fun.
Fuck yeah.
BRB.
BRB.
So quiet in here.
And no music, nothing going on.
Yeah.
Sorry, I thought we were playing a game of nobody speak.
Yeah. Oh, piranhas. Piranhas sucked.
All right. How's everyone doing?
Feeling all right.
Mentally? Alright, I'm fine. In the game, not great.
Yeah, we're halfway patched up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyone
yeah, big enough.
realizing any like, oh wait, maybe I have thalassophobia now?
Nah. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's weird when you're like explaining things, and I'm like nervously like playing with the beard. like, huh? Keep going.
So, yeah, anybody interested in like the diving stuff, it is super interesting. Like the idea of getting narked, and one of the common things is people think they hear singing. So Kraken's song is pretty apt.
Yeah.
Yes, I've one of my favorite YouTube channels is Scary Interesting, which is just all of the spooky cave diving horror stories you can think of. They set the
my God.
perfect vibe and tone for it, and it's so good. And then Subnautica is one of the best inadvertent horror games ever made. It's it's a survival crafting type game set in an alien world, but it's like all underwater based. But it's as you're playing, it's actually a horror game because you're diving into the dark depths and
Worse
things
is like
are there, and it's spooky and awful, and you just have to like, oh, it's so bad, but so good.
in video games like that, or like watching a movie that's underwater, and you realize like halfway through that you've been like periodically holding your own breath.
Yes.
It's always just like,
Yes.
oh, this sucks.
Yeah, every time I would come up to surface to like refresh my air in that game, I just caught myself doing a big old as the screen begins to black out as the pressure. Oh my god! So I'm trying to channel a little bit of that for y'all because
It's great. I love swimming, and I've never done any like deep dives, but I've certainly done the thing of like I'm gonna swim to the bottom of the pool, or I'm gonna swim as deep as I can in this lake, and yeah, that's not even deep, and the crushingness of it is kind of interesting.
Yeah, because it's like even as soon as you hit like not even 100 feet, like it's like that's when like you can't even be on like oxygen anymore.
Yeah.
Because like that's
Boyle's
the
law.
nitrogen like narcosis, like it just like I mean, we're not going to talk about this on stream, but there is a thing called hippie crack. Okay, it is nitrous. It is whippets. It is very popular among party crowds. I can neither confirm nor deny the whoop 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 sound that it makes.
I had a friend. I guess I still have a friend. They insisted on doing acid trips and then doing a whippet, and they called it the god. They called it the God Cannon.
Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it's about one step below
That's-
DMT. Yeah, no, that shit's wild, but yeah, spooky underwater horror campaign. I have thalassophobia, so this is fun.
I'm a fisher.
Yes.
I have a healthy enmity with fish, I guess. I don't hate them. I eat them.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't
definitely.
hate them. They're delicious.
Growing
Yeah,
up
they're
on Lake
delicious.
Erie, swimming on the beach, fishing, doing all of that. Took a boat a few times, but yeah, as soon as like your feet aren't on the ground anymore in the water, that's when it's like, oh, I don't know about this anymore.
The Great Lakes are crazy. I live by the Pacific Ocean, but like I remember visiting some of them and being like, "Wow, that's crazy."
Growing up, taking them for granted, like growing up, like, oh yeah, it's just like this. That's Lake Erie, And then it's like, oh no, like these are actually insane, like
You got waves and shit.
geological, like things that like the rest of the country and a lot of the world does not have.
Hell no.
I remember I was a little kid swimming in Lake Erie. My uncle had a boat up there, and it was my uncle, my dad, me, and my older brother, and we were all in the water except my brother, and I'm swimming around, and I was like, I had to have been like 6. I look up at him, and he's standing on the back deck of the boat, and I'm like, jump in, you little bastard.
Oh, God.
It was so good.
Not while it's moving.
No, we weren't moving.
Awesome, but so if everyone's back and ready, it's that
it is.
calm settles back over,
A brat.
and you all take that moment to heal up. The silt kind of starts to clear out, and you all have the cavern path ahead of you. You can't remember. It's hard to keep track of how long you've been here underwater. And then you
Yikes.
suddenly remember the race is still afoot.
A question, real quick, because this will actually help me a little bit. Do I still have my disguise self up? I mean, I know timelines on that. It's been a few minutes. I disguised self, let's say 5 minutes before we actually took off the race.
Mm-hmm. And how long does it last? An hour?
Hour.
Disguise self is still up.
Okay.
You know that much at least.
Okay, I at least know that much. Like, I have a semi timer of it. My disguise self is still up and it's still running. So, okay. And sort of like thinking about them saying the potions last an hour. I was sort of like look at myself real quick, like okay, and like evaluate my timer in my head. Like okay, I think we got some more time. Well,
All right,
that might actually
let's not waste
that
it.
might actually help us.
Yeah. Let's not waste it. Let's continue on.
All
Yes.
right. So you all head deeper in to the fray in the tunnel. So let me pull the bam. Fine. Yeah. And as you all remember, this is the deepest you think you've ever been, even for Finn, and behind the rest of you, this is crushing depth of water. And even at times you still, like we were just saying, like find yourself holding your breath before like that natural habit of just like, oh wait, I can breathe underwater, and then you're able to like kind of calm yourself. Your nerves are racing, the anxiety as you remember the race and the time limit that you're on. Time is ticking, so you rush your way down into the next cavern, and then as you break your way in, it kind of like goes off to a curve to the right side and opens up into a large chamber, largest you've seen yet, at least 30-40 feet across, and then expanding down over into like your right, even further past into the depths of the darkness. Silvery light dances along the walls of this underwater cave. The water here is a little warmer, and a gentle current pulls you towards a crevice in the south wall that emits a shimmering golden light. And then prowling around these 2 pillars that are 2 or 3 pillars dispersed throughout the cavern is this massive shark, and a gold amulet hangs from a thick rope tied around his body, with a silver spear protruding a soft light that protrudes from its side. And at that point, we're going to go ahead and once again roll initiative.
Nice. That amulet, that's our guy, right?
Yeah, that's our thing.
You all recognize that immediately, but that soft light, even from the shark.
Morgan, I see the roll and hear a laugh. Oh boy.
So
Rough
actually what
initiative.
we're going to do is...
This thing's seen us yet? Is it just like we were in initiative just to see
Yeah,
what's
as
going on?
soon as you
or-
come in, even with the light that you are
That
all
sucks.
dispersing.
Oh, we are glowing.
Yes. Yeah, I think we're gonna actually change it up finally. So you guys can go ahead and tell me where you all would like to be.
Oh, there we go.
Right.
Where is? Oh, I see the shark now.
Yes.
Is this a dry? Is this like here? Is this
This is
dry
all-
land?
Those are stone pillars, and it's all
Okay,
underwater.
gotcha. It's all underwater. Gotcha.
And actually, we can do it like this for the first time ever. Click on your token, and I'll put your initiative up there because I told you to do that before. I thought of being able to do this. All right.
Manually put us in, or do you want us to re-roll?
I'll put you guys in.
I'll probably stay behind Ludo. Wherever he is, I'll be behind. So Ludo, go ahead and make your move here.
Are we coming from?
We're coming from
left?
this side, it looks like.
Yeah.
Here, I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm just gonna pop it
This
back
way.
up and put it fresh. So boom, 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 boom. Finian is at 15. Ludo, you were 19.
Yep. Ludo
Morgen was 1. And then the shark is 4.
I don't know
Yeah.
that Ludo would have been in the front though.
Yeah, so who would
That's
have been in
true.
the front on this one, do you think?
Probably Finn would still probably be up front, toward the front. I mean, probably because being a swimmer, having a swim speed,
Yes.
he would be front, sort of leading the way with his dark vision as much as he could. So he would probably be seeing the shark. I would probably skirt this way a little. Nope, I'll probably stay there.
Yeah.
Sort of point it out, like trying to use the rock face here
Mhm.
as cover.
Yeah.
A little bit of
and,
cover, just like keeping him one side.
Awesome. And then I'll say once again, you hear. Turn that down a little bit, sorry.
Okay.
But you hear now even louder than before.
Oof.
As initiative begins.
And that's not the shark.
No, you hear a shark roaring, thankfully. But yeah, the shark roars. Weird. Ludo, your turn.
Roaring shark. Let's go ahead and cast Bless on my teammates again.
All right. Yeah, you feel like that passed, and then you were able to relapse it back up. So go ahead and maintain concentration on that for yourself. We'll put a little stopwatch as a reminder. And then everyone else will do those little glowing sacred wings on the symbols.
Yep.
All right. Anything else?
Nope. That'll be it.
Pelt. Finian on deck.
Okay. Just like, sorry, sussing this out. I don't want to assume anything, but I'm assuming that the shark is not friendly since we're in combat. Just fine. You know what? I might go for ice knife.
I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one.
Tried and
MVP of the
true.
game.
Awesome. So right now there's that pillar right in the way, but if you're able to kind of like probably you'd have to swim around to the other
Yeah.
side or in front of Finn.
And my speed is half, right? So I can only move
yes.
15.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're doing vertical and horizontal movements for this purpose. No diagonals.
Okay. But I can kind of friendly move through my friends here.
Yes.
Okay. Get some line of sight here. All right.
There you go. That's a good one.
Okay, so that should be 1d20 plus 5, and then plus 1d4 for bless, right?
Yes.
Oh, guess I won't need that though.
You're going to crit, baby. All right, so that is roll the damage on that ice knife. It's 1d4 for the dagger.
1d10 piercing.
Ooh, 1d10. So 2d10 piercing, and then how much for the? So it needs to make a dex save.
Ooh. Yeah. Dex saving throw or take 2d6 cold damage.
46.
46 because of crit. Yeah.
All right, but unfortunately, it hit a 19 on its dex save. Natural 19.
That'll do it. That's okay. 10 damage piercing. I'll take it.
Oh yeah. All right. So it's gonna be. All right. Anything else from you?
I think that's a move, attack. Yeah, I think that's all I got.
All right, Finn.
Okay, I was going to try to do something, but we are seeing this thing. We noticed because we were, I don't know, I don't know if he told us that. Like, this thing going hostile, do we notice that, obviously it's going hostile since we went into...
that roar. Go ahead and make a, survival, nature check.
Sure. The 0, so just with... Okay. No, I have no clue.
I mean, it's... You heard the loud roar, you see the teeth, then it's kind of gestured in towards your direction, yeah.
Okay, so we knowingly it's hostile. Okay. I'm not going to Ice Knife. I'm going to do something different, which is a shock. A half different, which is a shock. Looking around, seeing my people are on my side of it's here. I'm going to get in front of them all, make sure I do not hit anybody with an AoE, and you see I reach down, and it's a water bag that he uses as a spell focus, and he reaches down, and as he puts his hand in to pull water out, which is redundant because he's in water, he ends up pulling out what looks like a big old lightning chain, pulls it on 2 hands, and he casts Rhyme's Ice, Binding Ice. He will use his last sorcery point to, instead of making ice, he's going to switch it back over to lightning damage. And he puts his 2 hands together, this lightning bolt just shoots out at... Well, see, here's the weird part. A 30-foot cone should be a 60-foot cone.
But so that emanates from you. Yeah, that doesn't get anyone else.
So that's why I was making sure I wasn't going to get anybody else, but I emanate this cone of lightning at the creature. So it needs to make a con save, 15 con save. Whatever else is in that way, I might be killing the other team. I don't know, but at this point, this thing is coming at me. I'm gonna do this because it's like
okay. Don't worry about
a 14, so it misses. So it's gonna take 3d8, so 14 of lightning damage. Also, I'm gonna say gonna use the flavor since it's lightning damage. It seizes up its electrical system in the shark, since shark's nose uses electrical. Hits it right in there and it's freeze it up. So it is speed is reduced to 0.
Okay.
See when that was 1 minute. For 1 minute, its speed is reduced to 0.
Does it make any saves in between? Able to display VTT text.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry, I forget I can do that. That's not the one I wanted. I wanted this one. Sorry. The second point. Failed save. The creature takes 3d8 cold damage and is hindered from ice formation for 1 minute, or until another creature within its reach uses action to break away from its ice.
Fair enough.
So, frozen up from the electrical current, and I think at this point, seeing that did it and it's frozen up, I'll just look at you guys and go, all right guys, get the... Ooh, hold on. It's gonna be an action to do it though. Sorry, I can actually do something interesting, but I can't. We use my bonus action as I cast that spell to weirdly move 10 feet away. You see the blast actually moves me 10 feet away. That's my bonus action to use an ability,
Amazing.
or a spellcaster ability to move me away. And be like, all right, I think I have it locked in place, guys. I think just get that. And I'm going to move the pendant back behind Ludo. I think we got this thing locked in. I think we're good, guys. I think. Well, we'll see. That's my turn.
Amazing. All right, and that's the end of your turn. 1 second. All right, you see this thing. It is completely frozen up and incapacitated at the moment, and that like the electrical currents are rising up and down it as it just sits there and roars once again, thrashing. And then you see this like red haze over its eyes. It's just frantically thrashing around, but as per rules written, it cannot do anything. So go ahead, Morgan.
Yeah, I will go ahead and move over this way. And I think I will give her the old Toll the Dead.
Ooh.
A DC 14 Wisdom save.
Fuck yeah. Wisdom save. It's a 9.
Ah, that is 11 necrotic damage.
Fuck yeah. That would definitely do a good amount.
And then I will use a little more movement to get back.
Hell yeah. Anything else?
No.
Alright, we're gonna go back to the top of the round. Alright, and that will be back up to Ludo.
Is the amulet all the way down here?
There's
I
the
guess it's
amulet is on the shark. It was like wrapped around it with a cord, and then there's that silver spear sticking on it.
Oh, gotcha. I somehow missed that. Well, I guess Ludo's gonna try to start making his way towards the shark to try to get the amulet from the spear.
Your movement's reduced by half.
Right. So I can move about that far.
Oh yeah.
I mean, use your action to move.
Oh
Sure,
yeah,
do
I
some
can.
with your
I'll
action.
dash.
Alright, dash
I'll
up to
do
the
that.
shark.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. But yeah, you see it's completely paralyzed as you like
Actually-
swim up to it, yeah.
Yeah, I want to go this way just so I'm not like blocking on the way if
Thank you.
anybody's casting anything.
Awesome. Go ahead, give me a religion check and add your charisma modifier.
Religion check and add my charisma modifier, so +2 to this. So 17.
Ooh. So as you start heading closer, you have the symbol that hangs on you. The coin, the symbol of Andra, the Changebringer. And let me show this to everyone.
Cool.
And as it swims up, that's still like around your neck, I imagine, like even though you took off your armor, and it starts
Yeah.
to glow and warm pulse. And as you do that, as you get closer to that like detection just naturally goes off in proximity. And as you look forward, as that glow like emanates from that thing, you see the ice or that electrical buzz start to break away from that shark as a small imp, a fiendish devil, sits there, and it starts to break away from the shark. And as that like pulse breaks over it, as it does that action and reveals itself from its invisibility, and it makes eye contact with you and bares its fangs. But that is its turn. Pelt.
Interesting.
Yeah, this fiendish or in this cavern that you've been detecting.
Is there a bonus action you want to do there, Ludo? Might be moved.
Yeah, let me see.
Right. I'm sorry, Jack.
What I have.
Running over top of that.
Okay.
No, it's sorry. I keep forgetting to like make.
I don't
triple check.
I don't really have many. Actually, can I cast Sanctuary on myself?
It's a bonus action, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Let's do that. Let's cast Sanctuary on myself.
Yeah, in that, we'll say that this kind of happens even as a natural reaction. That like warm glow from the amulet just like suffuses over you as well, and you feel like a bit of protection from your deity in this moment. Amazing.
All right.
Back to Pelt. Sorry.
All good.
So,
I think I'm gonna move like this. Could be within range. Yeah. I want to use Thorn targeting the imp.
Yes, you see that is illuminated in this glow in the water.
Great. Alright, so I need to make a melee spell attack. Am I still blessed?
yes.
Yeah, you didn't take any damage, correct?
No, I haven't.
I did not.
Yeah, so you're fine.
Oh my god, amazing.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it does 1d6 piercing damage, so 2d6 piercing, and if the creature is large or smaller, you pull the creature up to 10 feet closer to you. So I guess my question is, how does that interact with being pulled towards either an ally or an enemy?
Yeah, no, it would pull it toward you because like the creature actually is supposed to be large. Sorry, but you if it is large or small, you should be able to pull it towards you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was doing it on the imp.
On the imp, yeah. Yeah, but
Yeah.
that pulling it like through the people, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if there's anything that needed to be done for that, or if it just literally moves 10 feet closer, which is fine.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'll pull you right through in between the water, like it'll zip in between Ludo and this large shark, and you
Great.
pull it closer, yeah, 100%.
All right.
How much does that damage? 6?
6, yeah. Unfortunately.
All
Not
right.
great roll.
All right, back to anything else?
That's it.
All right, back to Finn.
Not seeing any of that. Because I'm behind that rock. I want to get closer to Ludo. 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, shit. There's a head thing. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm going to get here because I feel closer to him. I don't like that. I don't like that imp there, though. That's a bummer. I won't be there for now. I'm going to look at the shark, and I'm going to just speak with it because as a swim speed, and I have the trait Friend of the Sea, so I can at least talk to it. It can understand me. It can't communicate back, but I'm just gonna be like, all right, let's try to calm down. Let me get this out of you, and I'm gonna grab the amulet and pull the amulet off. And if you allow me, I know it's 2 interactions. It's sort of like grab the spear and the amulet and try to. Objective is to get the amulet off, but I'm gonna try to pull the spear out if I can as like my bonus action.
No, yeah, it'd have to be a choice of a spear.
The choice of one or the other. I'm gonna grab the amulet and just be like, tell it to like, all right, we're just gonna try to get this. You know, we'll leave you in peace here. Just calm down a little bit and pull the amulet off. I'm going to pocket that amulet and just see if I can like quietly calm it down.
Give me an athletics check.
For the amulet? Is it in this, or is the spear?
It's like wrapped
into...
around, yeah. Like
Okay,
it's wrapped
gotcha.
around the spear, yeah.
Oh, -1, so athletics. This won't go well. 3. Knew it wasn't going great.
Well,
Blast
it
with
probably
my
doesn't
D4.
matter, but
With my D4 blast.
yeah,
There's a 1.
yeah, I was-
There's a 4.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, because it's like basically like the athletics is like hit the AC of trying to do it and then cut it away, and it's just as it starts animating again, and as you like swing in the water, it just barely glances off, and you're not able to get a firm grasp of it.
Oh shit. Okay, that's action. Hey, bonus action. I don't really got nothing. So, I can got 2-weapon fighting. Hold on, I can convert a source point into additional. Oh, I guess I can do conversion points. I just realized that, but I don't have any points anymore, so it doesn't really matter. Okay, that's it. I mean, I tried. Look at Ludo.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
we need to
perfect.
get this off. We need to get this off. Like, I might still be speaking Shark at this point. I don't know.
Yeah, and so as you tried speaking to it, actually, as a matter of fact, you hear, you speak to it in like the beast shark natural language, and you hear back in your head, or all of you hear as a response back.
Okay. Can you translate?
Anyone speak
Sure.
Abyssal?
Yes. Nope, I don't. I speak Primordial. Damn it.
It is. That's what you hear.
Okay.
It is the shark's turn. And
Movement's
sees
0.
Ludo
at least,
coming up.
but-
No, it got freed.
Did it get freed
from the
that?
imp? Yes. Yeah, the imp spent its action
Oh, used
freeing
its
it.
action.
That infernal or yeah.
That sucks.
Fiendish influence that seems to be here in this cavern. So we're gonna do roll a d20. 10 or lower is Finn, higher is Ludo. All right, Ludo. This shark is going to go ahead and take a bite at you.
got to make a wisdom save.
Yes, it does.
Oh, nice.
11.
What's it have to beat?
Probably more than 11, unless you're. I don't know, maybe not. In your spells, at the very top, it says save DC on the right hand side.
Save DC is 12.
All right, so it fails. So
Morgen
it
was
cannot attack you, so it has to attack someone else within its range. So I'll have to now
That
attack
sucks.
Finian.
Or-
are you missing?
Or it loses the attack.
Yeah, if there's no other target.
There's
that
no other
loses
attack.
the
Oh,
target.
gotcha.
And I managed
Um,
the range.
Is Finn missing hit points?
Yeah.
Then it
Is.
activates its blood frenzy, attacks with advantage. 18 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Lucky that's the one that hit instead of the 33 damage. 17
sucks.
piercing.
I'm
As
down.
It just takes a chomp into you and just takes a rip away. Like you see, like that shroud of mask, that white is just flooded with red that starts to fill the space around you, and it pulls away with like that bit of cloth stuck in its teeth.
I'm down.
All right, Morgan,
I'm
you're
gonna
up.
use as a reaction. I'm gonna use my channel divinity to rebuke the violent against the shark.
So it takes the same amount of damage.
Yeah, it has to. I think it has to do a wisdom saving throw.
Yeah, on a successful save, it'll take half.
Amazing.
So it's
Shark's
12
not
again.
wise. Fuck yeah! So you see that like bite into it as it starts to like reel back and thrash about in pain as that like blood and drip, that like cloth in its mouth just like burns into radiant ashes and just fills its mouth with fire for a second. Amazing. All right, that's turn. So Morgan, you are up.
The Raven Queen doesn't think it is your time to die just yet. I will go ahead and cast a healing word as a bonus action on our dear Finian over there.
Yep.
And as part of my class features, the Circle of Mortality, it is at maximum.
Nice.
What was this? Is this one? Yes. Yes. You can still use the highest number of. Yeah. So it is 8 hit points to you.
Okay.
Yeah, he caduceus to me.
Yeah, that's nice.
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 That is the cleric you run in a Critical Role campaign.
Yeah.
It's Grave Cleric.
And as my action, I will use my Channel Divinity.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is our time to strike. And I will. Oops, I didn't even do the one that it says it does. I target a creature I can see. The next time someone attacks.
You cut out for a second,
Yeah.
but
Get that.
it doubles damage vulnerability to the next damage it takes.
Oh, nice.
But I hope his
On the
internet
shark?
settles. Yes, the shark is vulnerable to
was-
the next damage.
Okay.
It's a little sketchy there for a second.
Yeah, start roboting. But amazing. Are you there, Morgan?
I think you dropped.
Yeah, I'll type in chat just in case it was just Discord. But I think that was probably a full turn, a great turn as well. Ludo, you are up. You see Morgan just come whip around the corner from behind as the shark's flurrying in your space. Your sanctuary buffs it off, but you see that attack hits Finn instead, and they drop with the blood pouring out from the wound. Morgan picks them up with a divine word, and then this dark shroud, like a flock of feathers in the water, just like appear around the shark and start to settle onto it, and like you just see vulnerable spots highlighted.
All right, I am going to use a bonus action to harness divine power and expend a use of my. Oh wait, never mind. I already used my channel divinity. Never mind. I'm just gonna take my longsword attack at the shark.
All right, so it's going to be at disadvantage. But you are you not blessed?
I am
No,
not.
he is not.
13 is the hit. 13 is exactly the armor class.
All right, so it's just the one-handed since I have the shield.
Awesome. Do you have anything to add onto that attack, Mr.
Well,
Paladin?
I was gonna try to use one of my bonus actions to regain a spell slot because I am out of spell slots.
Amazing. I was gonna.
So-
Cause you. I'll be a nice DM. If you wanted to do that before the attack, I would allow it. You know, if you were fishing for the hit to divine, because you actually. I don't know
think
what
I
this is,
can.
yeah.
I don't think I can because I already used my channel divinity. I only get one slot of that.
Oh
And
yes,
that,
exactly.
Yeah, that bonus action was
That's
that.
all right. But still hit for 12, so that's 24 damage. So,
Nice.
No, it's just the 4.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So 20.
Just 90 damage.
Just a 90 damage.
And then does it get a bonus from is it Morgan? Whatever
Yeah,
Morgan
so
did.
you dealt extra damage with that. Yeah,
Doubled it 8, yeah.
Gotcha.
100%. Hell yeah. Anything else from you?
That is it.
All right, we are going to move to the imp's turn, and it got pulled over to Pelt there, so I think it's going to try and take its sting on them for a 16 to hit.
Yep. I'll do it.
All right, it'll be 5 piercing, and then it will make a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Constitution.
Oh, is that an Yoki back?
He's back.
Ooh,
Nine.
not super good.
So it's a fail, so you'll take the 12 poison as well.
Boo.
All right. And we are starting on our 3rd turn as all of this has been happening. Now it is your turn as the imp stays there just swarming.
Yeah, let's see. How's the shark looking, I guess? It's probably
It's
hard to
looking,
tell.
You got a few touches on it. Yeah, like it's looking a little bloody.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't have much to be doing to it anyway. I'll move over just a touch, and I guess try and shank the imp with a dagger.
That's a straight attack, right? For the underwater.
Yeah.
Dagger.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an imp, right?
Yeah, it's an imp, except when you
You
roll.
got the bless.
Roll low.
But even with the bless, actually, yeah, fuck. All right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I assume that it doesn't.
I mean, they don't have a high AC, so yeah, if it was like 1 higher, there was a
Oh.
chance.
Well, I took damage. Does that break the bless?
Not unless the person who cast it took damage and needs
gotcha.
check.
Great, thank you.
But no problem. Anything else on your turn?
No. Yeah, sorry.
All right,
not
Finn,
very good.
you dropped, and then you're back up.
Panicked because he went down. You see him conjure an ice knife again because I mean, I have like 2 attack spells, and I used one to bind this thing down once already. But I used my last ice knife, and it is straight up ice knife. But as a no kidding. My bonus action as I conjure it, the
ice knives.
Ice knives. Ice knives, no kidding. It's just like feel bad because it's like
No, it's
a spellcast. I'm a spellcaster that
what
feels
you do,
very
man.
much. Yeah, it feels very much like a Varian. That I'm like I hit the object, like I throw ice knife. But as one of my racial traits, my bonus action is to move. Shit, where's it at? In here somewhere. Maybe it's in that part. 4 after there we go. Risk magic. As a bonus action, you can cause a gust of air. At this point, it's water. Move you after you cast a level 1 or higher spell, and move up to 10 feet without provoking opportunity attacks. 4 after I cast a spell. So as I pull the ice knife, I leap back 10 feet, hit the shark.
Nice.
Well, at least
Dex
attempt to hit
save.
the shark. Me make an attack roll first on that. Plus bless.
It's the rare spell that has both. 13 hits.
Okay.
Fails to save.
It was a save, and Ludo also needs to make the save.
And the
And that
imp.
too.
And
the
the
imp. Yep, and the imp.
All right, imp succeeds.
Okay. Ludo succeeds, so they take nothing. But the shark takes the 7 and the 8.
Fuck yeah,
And
15.
And then that was 10 points of movement without
Any movement.
actually using my movement. So then he's going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Just you hear him just going, I'm sorry, because he knows that could have hurt Ludo, and he's very upset about that, and mumbling to himself about shouldn't have left, I should have been here, and he's like having a little bit of a breakdown at this point because he just died, and that really messed him up. That's his turn.
All right. So back up to the shark, and here's the thing with how that thorn whip and everything, the movement, the shark is pinned down into this corner. It doesn't have anywhere to go with its large form. It can't swim out around Ludo. It can't move in a bunch of spaces that Imp is in there, and then it has Pelt beyond its reach. So it's going to go ahead and take a bite at Ludo and need to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
9.
It could bite the imp.
Fails. Yeah.
The imp's right there, man.
What does Sanctuary say verbatim? Let's see.
Threw it up in here. I can
Just throw it up again. There's a lot of things happening.
On a failed save, the creature must choose a new target or lose the attacker's spell.
Say it could lose it if it consider. Does the shark consider that imp a friend?
It's a good question. It isn't a blood
Another
frenzy,
I don't know their relationship.
right? I think
It
their,
might be marked as complicated on Facebook. I don't know.
Their fiendish nature, I think, has them tethered at the moment.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But it did not attack Ludo, so that is amazing. Morgan, you are up.
What a clutch spell, Ludo. Good lord.
I need you guys to be my eyes right now because my laptop's not quite back. But is there a way for me to get in melee reach of the shark?
Yes, you can swim like pretty much straight down right next to Ludo with the imp on your right side, and then the shark at the diagonal right down.
Perfect. I will do that, and then I will cast Inflict Wounds. I've got physical dice with me right now.
Oh, what a champ.
Let's see. I rolled an 8 and a 3 on Jasilionis Blast, yes?
Yes, because Ludo has not been attacked.
Okay, so that's 11 plus 6.
11 plus 6 will hit.
Okay, perfect. And that is 1, 10, and 2 on my damage.
13.
So 13.
13 total, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Shark's starting to look rough.
As a bonus action, I am going to use my Blessing of the Raven Queen to teleport to an unoccupied space that I can see. I'm going to go back to where I was.
Amazing.
And that's going to be the turn.
With a burst of feathers, you all see Morgan, like their like old frail form, just like swim up easily with their speed in a burst that like leaves the rest of you just like, oh my god. And then just reach out and basically just like slap the shark right on the nose. And as that happens, you just see a necrotic like spread of like vein, like lightning bolt arcs like trace into its skin and spread throughout, and that necrotic energy messes it up, and it is not liking life right now. All right.
Probably a pretty funny scene. Feathers just floating in the water.
Yeah, and then in a burst of feathers, they disappear and like to go back to where they were before that. Ludo, is back up to you.
Wow, that was quick. Well, I guess I'm taking another swing at the shark at disadvantage.
All right.
Oh.
What a waste of 20.
I know.
Unfortunate. So that 8 will just swing wide as you're just, and I believe that means your sanctuary drops.
Yes. Yeah, it probably should have dropped last time, actually, since I did.
That's all right. I forgot as well. That's okay. Anything else from Ludo?
So I was trying to read some more about this. Find it again. Sorry. The Harness Divine Power. So it has its own like slot, its own checkbox, but the way it reads is you can expend a use of your channeled divinity to fuel your spells. Is that a separate channel divinity, or does that also use the same one?
I've always played it when I played like Moss and other clerics that counts towards it because as you level up in cleric, you do get like 2 and eventually like 3 uses of divine channel ability.
Okay.
So like I think even as a paladin, you get multiple uses in later levels. So that means like you can do that up to that many times, despite however many uses you have throughout the day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's always been worded weirdly, and then I've been meaning
that's
to
kind of
further, but yeah.
That's kind of how I read it, but it
Yeah.
has its own like checkbox there, so I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, good questions. Good questions.
All right, I guess I don't really have much else, so that's it.
All right, back up to the imp's turn, and I think it is stuck on Pelt at the moment. It can't really do anything else, so it's going to go ahead and make another sting attack for a 7 against Pelt.
Sorry, you rolled a 7?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
know
a miss.
that's a miss, but yeah, so
Sorry.
yeah, so, no, sorry, I don't know. I was expecting you to react to that. You're just like, of course it misses, dumbass. But yeah, exactly. So it just like does that to you, and then just like neeners within its space, just disgruntled, and back up to Pelt.
Okay. This might end up being a little overkill, but let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Moonbeam.
Ooh, Moonbeam.
It's my level 2, so it's a 5-foot square that's 40 feet tall, and I can move it around in subsequent turns. But thing has the shark is locked in place.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'll just put it, wherever, right here. And it doesn't actually do damage until the creature moves in or starts its turn there, at which point it, has to make a Constitution saving throw. If it fails, it takes 1d10. If it doesn't, it takes 2d10.
Perfect.
Nice.
Anything else?
And
then mark the concentration for that as well.
Thank you. Yeah, anybody need me to move out of the way? No, I think that's good. I think we're kind of working.
Oh yeah, back to Finn then.
I'm gonna roll a wisdom save, a 10. He is shaken pretty hard from being knocked down at this point, and I think the only one that'll see it might be Morgen, where she's pointed, but his disguised self drops, and he's just sort of in shock at this point. Like, he's just sort of sitting there. I'm playing pretty hard RP at this point because he wanted an adventure, but at this point it got real with him real fast, and it's hit him hard. So his head's he's sitting down against this rock, head in hand, and he's just sort of sitting there, having a hard time with life at this point.
I love it.
That's his turn.
Perfect. All right. Back up to the shark's turn. It makes a con save.
Yeah, Constitution.
22, so half damage.
Yeah, 1d10. Oh, 2. Radiant damage, if that matters.
So yeah, it seems like it starts to sear its flesh as that beacon of light just booms down into the cavern, and it sears its skin, and it is not happy, and it is lashing out, and it can only make one more attempt at attack at the Ludo, who is right in front of it.
And sorry, quick question. 5-foot radius would just be 1 square, not 4, right?
It's only a 5-foot radius, not a 10.
5-foot radius, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
Boom. All right, so we'll make his attack at Ludo. Except that, perfect. Bite. Oh no.
Oh no.
It's a crit
Oh,
Oh no.
for
Great.
43 damage. I don't believe that is double your hit points in the or that is your hit points in the negative, so you're not instant dead. What is your total?
Well,
I'm at 21 right now.
You're at 21 hit points currently.
Yes.
Oh, what's your max HP?
yeah.
33.
Okay, so that puts you 22 negative, which is not your max. Close to an instant death, but you all see Ludo go down, blood in the water. The bless drops from all of you. Finn, you feel the bless drop from you.
That's what would shake him away, like out of the stupor. I think would be the feeling of Ludo not there anymore.
Alright, that is its turn, as it cannot use its anything else to move and get out of the way, as it's locked down in this corner. Morgan, you see that happen in front of you?
I told you the Raven Queen said not today. And I will throw another healing word out for 8 on Ludo. As my,
God.
and then as my action, since I can still use a cantrip,
Yes.
I will go ahead and toll the dead once more on the shark.
Nice.
That is 3.
DC 14. Oh, nice. 12 necrotic damage. I rolled max.
Fuck yeah. So you see this shark is like pinned in this corner, thrashing around, and it is looking rough as like the scars and pelts and the necrotic sears and that beam of light is peering down, and its eyes are darting around. Those black, cold eyes, like a doll's eyes, as they stare into you. And they want to rip your throat out. But now all it wants to do is run. Anything else, Morgan?
That's it. That's all I got.
Ludo, once again, your eyes close, that bite happens, you're waiting for the worst, and then you just hear in your mind the flip of a coin. Just that ping, and it lands up, and then you awake. Prone underwater is weird, y'all, okay? Like, you're prone, it's still going to take half your movement, which is half your movement, but you're still right in front of the shark. You do what you do.
All right. Well, yeah. My eyes open, so I'm swinging at this bastard again.
Disadvantage.
Missing again.
Ludo is just like flailing away with all hope, just like doing everything you can. You feel that divine passion behind you. Go ahead and make a charisma saving throw.
Nice.
As that happens and then you miss, I'm gonna say with that charisma save, that spear, the glowing soft silver light coming from the spear protruding from the shark's side, pulses with a warmth that just like spreads throughout you in this cold waters. And you hear in your mind, grab me. And then we'll
The shark's like, give me a tuggy.
hey, if
Alright.
Ludo wants to think that's a shark, that is on Ludo. And that is up
Insight
to
check.
Imp's turn. Alright, this imp, I mean, it's got 2 targets, one that keeps coming up and one that is missed last time, so I think it's just going to take another, like, try and, like, swing around to get, like, a angle but not move out of the range, and then take one more sting at Pelt.
All right.
8 to hit, it's going to miss.
That is a miss.
Alright, and, yeah, that's end its turn, because it's like its nose and it's swarming around frantically, like going back and forth trying to find a way out.
Okay, and the shark is still alive, right?
Mhm. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, then I will. I want to maintain concentration on the moonbeam.
Yes.
I'm just deciding whether to. I guess I don't have to move it because presumably the shark can only move its body.
Yes.
Yeah, so far. Okay, so yeah, you know what I'm saying. I don't think it
Yes.
can physically
Yeah,
get out of
need
it.
to- yeah, you feel like you know by sight on that spot.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Well, to make that work, I can't move. I don't think I have any good bonus actions, so I think that's it for me.
All right. Finian, you feel that bless drop. You hear all that chaos and motion in the water. Give me a perception check.
Okay. This isn't gonna go well because none of my shit's gone well. Perception. 10.
10. You hear a slight disturbance in the water down over around the other
Okay.
side of the pillar, and you hear just like a jumbled like.
Alright.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I liked it.
Oh, thank you.
Feeling the bless drop, knowing that came from Ludo, and like would have shucked like hands in like head and hands. Bless drop out. His head would have snapped up just enough time to see Morgen shoot out the necrotic spell and the Toll the Dead, and he's gonna like wake up for like just like down, like knowing his friend's down. He's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. He's gonna go to this point and check and see that Ludo's up and just be like, okay, and see the moon coming down out of the sky, like Sienna's looking down. He looks over at the shark and not speaking to the shark, but speaking to the moonbeam. He's going to just say, Sienna, I'm sorry. And he's going to shoot a chilling touch at the shark because it's like one of those things like he doesn't think it's right to be using necrotic, but he just saw necrotic damage and he's like innately a spellcaster and he can like in my mind he's like using things that he sees and he sees this necrotic damage. He's just like
and it is
just reaching out.
And it's an attack roll.
It's an attack roll, 18 to hit.
Make it with advantage.
Okay. It's just a 24 to hit.
Hell yeah. No, I mean definitely hits. What is that damage?
Fuck, that's 3 points of damage. It's like, damn it.
Well, take it.
I'll take it. I mean, it's one of those spells like
call to the Moonweaver in that moment, and you ask for that forgiveness of that moment, and you just feel that necrotic damage connect even through all of that. But yeah, no, you feel it definitely break its way and add on to the pile.
Okay. And just sort of, I think that's 20, 25. That's all the further I can move. I might pop up just a little bit.
As you drive right there, you see coming swimming out of that tunnel the blue-skinned orc, like beckoning back behind her towards the other people, and you hear that commotion coming down from the rest of the tunnel now. All right, anything else?
Damn it. No, because I think I just said my piece at that point and did my spells, and that's it.
All right. This thing has a little bit of room now, and it is in this searing moonbeam, so it's going to try and move up out of it, but it doesn't get far. It's like right there. So it's still in it. So it's going to go ahead and odds Ludo, evens Pelt. It's going to attack Pelt.
It needs to take
Oh,
damage.
make the con save. Oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
7 fail.
Great. 2d10.
20. Damn it.
I appreciate that, Bert.
I mean, this thing is looking on the verge of like the frenzy, still trying to find a way out, and like it's seeing Finn and other people in that area. So like sees that movement coming from the other direction. It looks in your direction, and you're like the easier path away from here at the moment. And it tries to make a bite attack at you for a 13 to hit.
Miss.
All right, that will be it misses, and it tries to use its ability to use its movement as a bonus action to move away without opportunity attacks, but it has nowhere to go, so it's going to stay right there. And Morgan, that's going to be you.
All right. Let's try once more. Toll the dead. Wisdom saving throw.
13.
Ooh, it's a fail. 7 damage.
It is. The Raven Queen is beckoning in your ear. Just like, she is at my door. Send her so I can purify the soul. And you feel that necrotic energy sear, and it is still up and still around, but on the verge.
I also would like to move at this point.
Yes. Yeah, you come in and close the gap. Go ahead. Anything else?
Oh, no, that's it for me.
All right. Ludo, you're up.
All right, so Ludo hears that the voice coming from, basically telling him to grab the spear.
Yes.
So yeah, he reaches out and grabs it.
Make your athletics check with advantage. All right, 20, and you pull the spear free, clean, with a burst of that silvery radiant light, and you hear Avandra whisper in your ear, "Good." And as part of that action, go ahead and make an attack with advantage.
Oh, come on.
I'm so sorry.
So sorry.
I know, you're trying so hard to help me out.
You rolled 2 2s in a row, man. Come on.
I mean, your god is the god of a coin flip, so, I mean,
okay.
as you pull that spear free, that amulet that's wrapped around it flips up in the air and begins to settle down into the water below
That's
it.
edge.
And you all see it, and it's like dropping off like right next to where, like beneath where Ludo is, like right in that spot. All right, anything else?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna take the movement and try to go after the amulet.
All right, so it's like you start descending down towards the ground a little bit. So you guys have been like floating in like the center of the cavern, I imagine. So you're getting like a little bit settling closer towards the where the floor is.
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect. Anything else?
I think that would be it. Would that shark get a reaction against me?
Do you go more than 5 feet down?
Well, how far down does the amulet?
It's probably like 10 foot down at this point.
I think I'll just do 5 feet down for
All
now.
right, stay in its opportunity, stay in its range.
Yeah.
All right. It's going to be the imp's turn. We're going to roll the 1d4. Odds Pelt, evens Ludo. All right.
Hey.
Staying on the Pelt. It's had a pretty good success so far. Oh my god. All right, so it's a crit. So it's going to be 7 piercing.
Oh man.
It didn't roll the piercing or the crit poison damage, so I'm gonna roll another 3d6 on that. Another 10, so that is gonna be 21, 28 in total.
Yeah, I'm not feeling super good.
Yeah, you see it just put that sting. It just like catches you right in that perfect spot, pierces underneath, and you feel that poison just like. Oh wait, make the con save. Sorry, before I make you take all that poison damage. I'm so sorry.
I'm down. I'm down to do that. Oh no. Okay.
So you did take all that. Sorry.
I take. That's
But
fine.
no, I need to make sure I'm remembering those before I just tack stuff onto you guys. You know.
Yeah.
All right. So that is that. The thing stings you. You see Ludo pull that spear free. The amulet. It is your turn.
Yeah. Okay. On a scale of 1 to max health, I'm feeling like a 2. But
Well, like an 8, yeah, I understand.
gosh, I really want to maintain this moonbeam.
Oh wait. Oh, a concentration for the moonbeam.
Yeah.
It needs to be a DC 14.
Concentration.
Con save. Just a Constitution save.
Just Constitution save. Oh, come on. Okay,
All right,
well, I
so
lose
maybe
concentration
not.
on it.
Yep.
That's fun. Okay. Do we try and go for the kill or cure light wounds on us? So, kind of want to go for the kill.
Do it.
What do I even have? Gosh, I just have some first level spell slots right now, so I'm trying to decide what to use.
Especially with druid spell lists are insane. Like there's so many things.
There are just unfortunately some of them. A lot of it is like ice knife, and we're all literally sitting next to it.
Yeah. Yep.
Like that's probably not great. You know what? We'll just play it smart, and I'll go ahead and cure light wounds on myself.
All right. So you do the cure wounds. Nice 10 on you. Yeah, just making sure you stay up. The preservation of the waste, that like natural instinct of, explore, adventure, do what you can, but don't put yourself. Like you are the first and top priority. Your line, your role in the clan of protecting and mending. It can't end. No matter what.
And I think we're close though. So, I don't want to break away. Yeah, I think that's my turn.
Alright. And as this happens, you see out of the corner in the cavern, she comes swimming in at full speed.
Oh my gosh.
20. And this dropping right below where Ludo and the giant shark is, she swims down in that speed and this amulet floating in free air, and she just goes and snatches it out of the water and then comes away right there. The shark is going to take its opportunity attack at this thing that came in underneath. No, she dove in down 10 feet below it, so she's out of its range. Because it came in very low from where the cavern is. So she has the amulet in her hand. Finian, you're up. You see this as she just darts with a natural grace and affinity for the water that pretty much, she has it natural, basically, like you do. She's grown up in the water.
Says no. And he moves into Interceptor here, not in a threatening way, but as he moves, he will cast Friends and look at her and say, "Thank you. You've been working so hard. Give me that amulet. Thank you. It's ours. We pulled it from the shark." And just
so friends. For the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you use magic to influence its mood and becomes hostile towards you. It lasts for a minute. Concentration.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, make that persuasion check with advantage.
Okay.
Nice.
So as she darts up and makes that swim, and then comes back, and then you go to intercept her, and you cast this magic in front of her, and this effect settles onto her. Her eyes begin to narrow at you, and she reaches for this harpoon that's attached behind her back. And then she stops. She's just like, Oi! Oh, we're all friends here, aren't we? We're all here for the same thing. And then she holds the amulet out with her free hand.
I mean, that's totally an action, so tell me what I'm allowed, because I have 25 more feet of movement, so I will approach her.
You can close the gap, but to grab the amulet would be an item interaction.
Yeah, it'd be an item, and I can't do that. So, actually, I'm going to stay here where I was.
Mark concentration as well.
To sort of close, knowing there's more behind her. Closing sort of like the way out for her at least, and just be like, all right, no, you. I mean, we've sacrificed so much to get this point, and like just beat up like the rest of the statement is just sort of like, we'll grab this here in a second. Just give me a minute, and like trying to like get someone over closer to grab it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's my turn. That's all I can do. Right back. I'm done. That's it.
Awesome. That'll end its turn, and then the shark is up and is thrashing around. And for the sake of this new threat, this new blood moved into its range. So we have 1, 2, 3 targets. 1 Ludo, 2 Pelt, 3 Morgen.
Hey.
So it's going to make its bite attack at a 20 to hit.
That hit.
You take 22 piercing.
Okay, that drops me.
Alright, so you guys see Pelt go down, blood in the water, start drifting lazily and floating there. That will be its turn. I feel like I'm -5. Alright, Morgen, your turn. You see that?
Oh, all right. I am once again going to toll the dead.
Wisdom save?
Wisdom save, yes, sir. 14.
Alright, let's do this. 8 fails.
7 necrotic.
Alright. On the nose.
Oh, thank God.
126 HP. That necrotic told the dead your magical effect, whatever form it takes, that flock of feather burst energy takes the giant shark, and as that happens, it goes into a death spiral and swims down, pushing the bulk of its weight down past Ludo, pushing him 5 feet out of the way, and it goes into a death spiral down past this pillar into a wall of brick of boulders and rubble at the end of this cavern, and it smashes into it a small gap where the bolt of lightning that Finn had shot earlier had punched a small hole to widen where that light is piercing through. And as the shark tumbles down into death, that cavern opens up just a little bit, with more shining golden light pouring through.
Interesting.
The Raven Queen. Oh, wait, I wasn't done yet.
Oh, yes, sorry.
I have a fun little bonus action. The Raven Queen has called to me, and I have sent her her quarry. And with that, I also, with one of my other features, it is the other part of my circle of mortality I can use Spare the Dying as a bonus action.
Yes, you can.
So 2 cantrips. I will Spare the Dying on Pelt here.
That is 100% fine. They settle and do not have to start taking death saves.
Ooh.
And
Okay.
that is
Amazing.
perfect.
All right. And on that happens is going to go to Ludo's turn.
Yeah, so since Ludo got pushed back, he sees the blue orc here and sees that Finian is trying to get the amulet from her and she's holding it out. So he's going to reach out and try to grab it.
All right.
It's offering it. I mean, that was the whole thing.
She was offering it. You are friendly.
Hmm?
How much are you willing to give up a competition to your friends?
How much am I willing to give up a competition to my
Yeah,
friends?
like at any willing time. You know, you're doing a thing with some friends, and there's a thing on the line with an award and a prize. Do you give it up very easily, or do you compete a little bit?
I think Ludo would compete.
All right, I think we'll do this as a fair, straight-up athletics check. Because the fact that she's offering it is pretty friendly.
Oh, Ludo.
Oh yeah.
Please tell me she rolled a nat 1 and she has a +2.
Not much better. But as you
That's better.
go to pull it away, she's just like, "Why? I think I'll buy you a pint later with this." And she doesn't like take it back. It's still outstretched, but like as you go to pull it away, there's like a firm tug in her hand or something naturally that, you know, that competitive instinct that is imbued in her specifically maintains itself.
All right. Well. So that was my action.
Yep.
I don't really have anything else, so.
All right, and then at that moment, you see swimming up behind her one of her other teammates, Irvin, the Waste Walker, as he starts to surveil the area. And in that moment, this imp wildly looks around at its circumstance in the dead shark, and it glows with a crimson light, and it disappears in a small puff of magic, and it turns invisible. And you see a small like displacement of water as it tries to leave the area. Does anybody use any reactions?
Sure.
Yeah, say Ludo, you feel it move out of your range and area, and Pelt as well.
Yep. I'll take a swing at it.
I think I'm unconscious.
Yes, yeah, you're just stabilized. Perfect. Ludo with a disadvantage. Or actually, are you using the spear?
Oh, yeah, can I?
Yeah. So go ahead and roll. Add a spear into your inventory and roll that straight roll. Sorry, I meant to cover that last turn, so you had to like turn to get that ready. That's my bad. Because you do have that like silvery light spear in your hand still.
Computer's being so slow.
Yeah, no, sorry to spring that on you in the middle of turn.
Add spear. I swear that every time I click, it takes like 5 seconds to load.
Yeah, no worries. It will be the imp's turn after you, by the way, but then Pelt after that.
All that
Not
for
any
that.
better. Not any better, buddy.
I mean, hey man, you said you wanted to play a cursed character, right?
Yeah.
No, don't worry, man. We got some god shit coming down the line.
There's-
Like,
There was so much build up for that too. The whole process of me adding that spear just
For
to.
a natural, just to roll a natural
I
one.
want you to tell us how Ludo feels internalized about this.
Ludo's feeling pretty worthless right now. He feels like he is sucking so badly underwater. He can't even grab a freaking amulet that's being extended out in a friendly manner. He can't poke a thing swimming away from him with a spear. He missed so many times with his sword. He's just feeling like an overall failure at this point.
You're surrounded by water. You're in like freezing cold. You're in one of the harshest, worst conditions you've ever been in your life. And you still just have that memory of a town burning behind you. And that will end the imp's turn. Pelt, you are stabilized.
Cool. Great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
So with that, she's still holding the amulet outstretched. She's just like, oh wait, you want this, but... And then she sees Irvin driving up. She's just like, Irvin, I think they cast a spell on me. I need you to get this out of here. And she keeps the amulet outstretched for him. Finn, it's your turn. But like you see, she still has that like grip on it.
Okay.
You cast a spell right in front of her, and she is friends with you, but she still knows exactly what is happening right now.
Yeah, because it's
She's not hostile towards you. She's not attacking.
Yeah, because we weren't hostile.
And actually, I think she swims a little closer up over here.
Okay. Gotta decide what I want to do here. It's like the hard part. Yeah, I'm gonna go up to her. This is not gonna go well because athletics is not what I do. Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna stay down. I'll go 5, 10, 15, and I'm going to lightning lure the amulet off her. I'm gonna try to.
Can it target creatures and objects?
I mean, look. I can't do that. It's a creature then. It is a creature. I thought it was an object. It's a creature. Okay. Well, if she's there and I'm there, I'm gonna have to do it. I'm just gonna have to try to beat her in athletics. I'm gonna grab it from her.
What you think you're doing? She got an 8.
And I just come on. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna give it to Irving, and let's go.
What are you doing? Don't hand it over to him.
And I'm gonna grab it.
Okay,
I'm gonna grab it out of her hand. Athletics check. -1. 9. That's not great.
A slight tension. She rolled an 8.
Oh.
You struggle, and you just rip it out of her grasp. The clasp of that like ornamental necklace is kind of breaking at that snap point, and you have it fresh in your hands.
Okay. I'll just say, guys, we got it. Let's go. Thank you. And I give her a kiss. And 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Time to get out, guys. Come on. And I move away. 30 feet away from her. That's my turn.
Alright. It's your turn. Shark's dead. Irvin swims up. It's like, Io, they got away with it! And he comes and enters 5 times. 20, and he like comes to cut off this area, and he doesn't have anything at the moment, so we're gonna go ahead to Morgen.
Okay.
He's already in action.
Oh, gotcha. I'm going to grab Pelt, and I assume that's just going to make me move at half speed. and I'll start dragging him with me, and take a dash action. So we'll get over here.
All right. Anything else?
No, not at this moment.
Alright, you drag in Pelt's unconscious, stabilized body out behind you, the blood slowly leaking a trail in the water as you are heading your way for the exit. Ludo, what do you do?
Same thing. I use my dash action to try to follow. Let's go. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go around, try to follow.
Yeah, I think she doesn't try and do any sort of lethality, anything pat you past on the way out. She just looks like incredulous and looks like looking around the cavern wildly as like the rest of her team starts to pile their way into the end of the cavern. And you make your way towards the entrance. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright, Pelt unconscious, so you guys are pretty much on a full sprint out.
Yeah, I think at this point,
Awesome, we'll
be
go ahead.
just out as fast as possible. I mean, yeah, I think I would probably just thank her, and like as we're leaving, just like, hey, thank you. We had a lot of shit going through here, and that shark took down. I'm looking at Pelt like 3 of us, like literally 3 of us. I thank you, and again, just like kind as he's like getting out, like looking at what was her name? What was the
Io.
Ew. And just give her a wink as we like book out. Like I'll be the last one out, like making sure whole team knows we didn't attack. Like very, very like emotional. Like we didn't hurt her, we didn't attack. It was just now.
Love it.
Someone else has something else to throw in there.
If Ludo gets a chance during that, he's going to use Healing Hands on Pelt. It just restores 3 hit points, but bring him up.
Amazing. As you all get towards that entrance and start making your way out and round out with your spoils, everyone give me a perception check.
Perception.
I died.
Morgan and Ludo do these with advantage.
14. Oh shit!
Hell, 25.
How did I do that again?
Everybody.
Amazing.
Oh, there's a bunch of
Roll
8s
20
there.
broken tonight. So Pelt, you hear this. As you're all around your corner making your way, like I imagine you're just like beelining straight for the entrance with your prize. There's a small, like, almost like your ears popping with like the pressure differential and just like a slight like and it's like a small bit of noise off in the distance in the cavern behind you, even further than where you guys were in it. And
Like from back here.
Yeah, back.
Got it.
You imagine as you left, you left that rest of that party, the Genasi orc, the blue-skinned one, the drow elf, the ogre, Irvin, the waste walker, and then that goblin came in last with his like still in his heavy plate. You could see like why they were so slowed down getting in here. But as you leave them behind in that tunnel, you see them looking around, and there's that golden light peering down from the farther end as you all leave with the amulet, the prize of the race of the Festival of Merit of Jigow.
Like
But
any of that,
Wow. Was that worth it?
At what cost?
With our lives, yeah, I think we're cool with that. I mean, leaving with everybody standing, not great. Standing. What's Pelt at right now? Like 3?
3.
I'm at 3.
What's Ludo at?
8.
I'm at 8
Yeah.
also.
So as you guys, oh yeah, no, so you know, I want to see this moment, like for you guys, like just taking those few moments, going back to the entrance, like what is this discourse between y'all?
At that point, I think it was just making sure everybody's out, mad rush, everybody's out, and when I feel it's safe, we're like finally at the surface. I was sort of looking out. I just look at Ludo and just look at him and just give him a big hug and just be like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. It shouldn't have broken out like that. I don't know." And I'm just hugging him, just like, I don't. You okay? I felt like you went down. Felt like you. I don't know. There's a lot happening there. Everybody just sort of. Are you? You die? Are you okay? I died.
Ludo wraps one of his big arms around Finn, and he's like, "It's okay. It's fine. We're all fine." I'm just kind of like patting him, trying to reassure, but it's a little bit awkward, but at the same time, it's sincere.
He sort of looks at everybody, and he looks at Morgen and just nods. Thank you. He knows he knows that it wasn't his god that brought him back. He's like, thank you. Just like looking at her, just like full admiration, I think, is part of the term, because of knowing she is also a sorceress, sort of like full admiration of like her power. Just like, he was maybe in over his head in that battle.
She kind of nods back to you, and at this point, you can definitely tell she is exhausted. She definitely hasn't seen this much action living in the town of Jigow. Maybe in her younger years, she might have seen some exciting times, but this is a little overwhelming, even a little physically for her too.
Thing realizes as he breaks the surface, and you're looking at him, that he is out of his disguise and out of his covering, and you finally see sort of a mohawk pulled to one side, this blue as like the sea blue with this little goatee. You can tell he's a mix between an elf and probably a gnome, knowing his stature and how short he is for being an elf. Pointy elf ears. I think you would notice that he is part elf, and he quickly, as before he fully emerges out of the water, he ducks back down, puts his hood back up, and his mask back on. And
a bit of your hood was torn away by the shark.
Okay. All right. So puts his mask back on, and much to the hood as he can, as even though the piece of it is bitten off, just puts the mask on, the hood up, and just sort of nods at her. I think he looks at her, being elf also, just be like, I'll explain later, and then just sort of like covers up. And that's what Finian does.
Anyone else in this moment?
Yeah. So I think when Finian does kind of hug onto Ludo, Ludo does still have some lay on hands healing points, and I think that comforting kind of tap just gives him just a couple points of lay on hands, just kind of unintentionally.
Oh yeah, no, perfect. So you guys pick each other up, and as you come out of the grotto, you see the greeting crowd of just everyone waiting in suspension, and the two elders standing out front on these island outcroppings. And as you all emerge, they all just begin to cheer ecstatically. Rah, yeah! Everyone is fucking roaring. It's an overwhelming sound of noise, and since you've just been deep in the dark underwater, you felt that pressure, like your ears all popped as you come out of that extreme pressure differential in such a fast pace. everyone for doing this for the first time. Give me Constitution saves. Finian at advantage.
Oh, again, don't trust any of these dice rolls. 14.
Yes, as the bubbles from below, 6, 10, 14, and 19. So Pelt and Ludo, you both just feel your body like it's essentially the exhaustion condition, as you feel those preference, like the pressure and that intense toll physically, yes, on your body. You are all out of it, and Pelt especially, I believe you cough up a little bit of blood. But no physical harm. Yes.
And you're down again.
Yes, we're not doing that. But as
all
that
well,
happens,
Ludo sees that, and he pats Pelt and gives him a couple extra lay on hands health points.
Yes, amazing. And
Noticing
then
that he's hurt.
that orcish elder Ushru, he comes up to you as just like, "Oh yes, are you triumphant?"
Well, I have it. At that point, I'm just sort of like looking like a little shell shocked and like, what?
And you hand over that emerald eye amulet.
Hand it over, yeah.
And he's just like, "We have the winners!" And everyone just raises their hand, like he raises your hand up in the air as you all just like looking defeated and ragged. And he's just like, you have each a reward of 100 gold pieces.
Damn.
And please stay on us tonight. Where's the other team? Why have they not submerged yet?
Yeah, before he even said that, Ludo like turned and was watching to see the other team emerge. If they emerge.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, is it something like they ask? I think Finn would also sort of look back. I don't know if.
And then so he reads that solemn tone. He's like, Did they not make it?
We were very much alive when we were down there, but I did notice a light further down in the Emerald Grotto. I don't know what all that's about.
And he starts to look like confused and like that, like eyes lost and wandering. And then the other elder, Kubu Kaz, comes home. He's just like, "Oh, what seems to be the problem? Where's the other team?" And you all wait, and it is a very pregnant pause. A couple minutes. 5, 10, and all of you at this moment, you feel the effects of that potion of water breathing wear off of you. It has now been well past the hour, and still there is no sign of them. And the crowd is deathly silent. Morgen, you hear the sound of a raven caw off in the distance. And the water is still as the moon is high above it, reflecting off, shimmering and twinkling in the light. And a few more minutes still. And then finally, they all splash up to the surface. All 5 of them. Irvin is unconscious and in the arms of Maggie as he starts pulling them and paddling towards the surface. And we will end there.
Ludo's gonna run over and try to help. He has a couple lay on hands points left.
Amazing.
So
yeah, everyone
he's
starts
able to. He's gonna.
Yeah. So actually, no. Never mind. I mean, if you guys want to do this up, I'm gonna play it up.
I mean, I got about half an hour. Let's go.
No, amazing. Love it.
I gotta go ahead, Bale, but just catch me up on the wrap up here.
No.
Next time. All right.
No, I think this moment actually is the moment to wait out. Actually,
point.
before we get into anything else, it's that long pause. You are all the winners of the Festival of Merit. as this
100
party
GP
here,
finishes
buddy.
out. Yep.
We're no closer to saving the land.
You guys use less than 100 GP and things down there. I did, Jack. I did add, just because of how it worked out. I did not take my potion of water breathing.
Yes.
I did add that to my inventory.
100%.
Okay. Make sure. I just want to make sure you're on page with me on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So I mean, despite the music, Tone, you guys are winners.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel that way.
Yeah, it does not.
Why not?
Because
The town
3 out of the
celebrates.
4 of us went down on that. There you
Hey,
go.
yeah.
Thank you for picking up the tempo a little
This
bit.
is Exandria.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm
So-
definitely keeping some shark bite scars on my character.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
kidding. Yeah, exactly. So Maggie was the one holding. Who is she holding?
Irvin.
Then
Oh,
The,
yeah,
the
the
human, the waste walker.
the
Yeah.
human one, Shaggy.
Yes.
All right. And
Shaggy.
the one that I talked to was
Aya.
the
Tia.
goblin.
Yeah,
She wasn't the drow. Which one was that?
in the cave is the blue
Orc.
skinned Io.
Io.
Yeah, like blue skinned
Drow,
orc.
human. Oh, the blue skin orc.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Orc.
Mm-hmm. And that's especially I think that's a good moment on Finn with that spell casting and his spell nature. And
Yeah.
it's, casting spells on people. I mean,
Man, she
if someone
tried.
came up and cast a spell on you, how would you react?
Not great, but the time that was the best.
I know,
Right.
that is the
I mean,
move, 100%. But that is like, I think that like I wanted to help like set that precedent
Yeah.
for like that
I mean,
tone on the campaign, because like
It wasn't a full hostile attack. It was more like a desperation. Like, no. We did so much to get this
For
point.
this,
There's so much
exactly.
stuff for
Mhm.
this.
she swooped
You're
in
not
last
taking.
second.
You're not taking that. And it
100%. That's not a. She
Yeah.
played dirty right there, like 100%.
That's how I felt. I felt very much of they were holding. They saw the issue, were holding back until we were almost dead. Then came in to get the
Mhm.
award, and Ian was not having that at all.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Yeah, no, this
I
is
gave- I
great.
took
Like
it
that
in-
whole interaction, that's amazing. Like how
Oh.
everything happened there.
They gave her a kiss.
A lot of a lot of choices, a lot of dice rolls is exactly like that. That worked out very well.
That was fun.
I think that team was amazing. I mean, fucking Grave Domain Cleric.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
Oh, we would not have been like I think I told you, Jack, that this entire game with this character, I am not gonna take any in level ups. I'm not taking any of the what's it called when you hit like it's the next level. The
ASIs.
yeah, I'm not taking the aptitude score. Or I'm not taking the ability score improvement. I'm not taking that at all. I'm just gonna take feats.
Beats.
It's all gonna be based on what happens, and at this point, with the cleric pretty much coming in clutch, he's gonna realize that they need more healing. At this point, if we like leveled up soon, it would be like taking some cleric abilities, like
Oh,
just
yeah.
to
By the
be
way,
like,
everyone,
a little bit that. Oh, what?
you level up to 4.
What? No. Oh damn.
I have to tell Crow in DMs.
Yeah, tell
I
Crow
couldn't break
because
this
at this
message. I had to
point-
double check. Yeah, finish the Emerald Grotto challenge in chapter 1. Level up.
That was nuts. That was
Level 3, y'all.
should be level 4, y'all.
Oof.
Level
That was
4.
how's everyone feel? Is everyone enjoying this so far?
Oh yeah.
I
Yes.
love this. I mean,
Yeah,
my
it's
hope
fun.
is
Long form, man. Like it can just create so much more opportunities, for like what you can get into in the game.
So are we rolling for health at this point on?
Yes, everyone roll hit dice for their health and their level up, and then declare to me what multi-classing, we'll have to talk and do discussions, but I'm open to it. But just give me a reason, and then we can allow anything at this point, basically. But yeah, roll hit dice.
So initially on level 3, we're taking max HP at level 3, right?
Yes.
And then okay, so I was initially 24 HP. I gotta roll. I just need to roll 1d6.
Another sorcerer. Another Morgen for cleric.
Yeah, I'm going cleric still.
And then we're talking. We still ASIs all are pretty much open. We'll just have a discussion with me about what you want to choose and for what reasons. And then
just actually roll a hit die. I'll just roll a d6. I'm just gonna roll manually.
And then add your con modifier.
3 con modifier. I'll look now at my con modifiers.
Yeah, Ludo, another level in Paladin.
5.
Yep. Plus con modifier.
I gotta take so
Come on,
24.
Don't be a crappy number.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 29. Big old 29 HP, guys.
Nice.
Nice. So
This is
I'm
ability
up to
score.
42.
Yeah, it must be nice.
Hell yeah, y'all.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to take, because of how I'm playing this character, look, he's going to take magic innate of some sort, and I can't decide if it's going to be wisdom, if it's going to be a druid, or maybe cleric. I just got to look at the spells, see what I can take.
Hell yeah.
If you pull Cure Wounds from Bard, you can keep Charisma.
Oh, that's a good point.
I'll be right back, but I'm still here to chat for a second. I just need to use the bathroom, but be right back.
Can I take Cure Wounds? I'm looking at what I can take. The whole idea behind him was he is taking what he sees. He being an innate spellcaster, he's taking what he sees, and every time I do this, he's going to do something he thinks interesting. I was going to do Druid because of his background, but Druid has so much crap, and none of it's helpful. It sucks. Like none of it's helpful for me. I might have to pivot on what I want to do.
It's really funny because I'm actually so considering Meta Magic Adept.
Yeah, that was my next one. Would be just meta magic, just him just being a meta magic character, which might be the best movement. Actually, I think that's what I might do is just meta magic, and then 2 more. Do you get how many meta magic do you get?
You learn 2 Meta Magics, and you get 2
source points.
But those points cannot be converted to spells, which is fine.
Yeah, not a big deal.
The reason why I would choose Meta Magic Adept for this character is because my Path to the Grave Channel Divinity is an action, and I cannot capitalize on that pretty much with it, but I kind of want to.
Yeah, understandable.
Hell yeah, I'm back.
All right, I think I'm gonna take another feat. I was trying to look at innate magic spells, but even cleric, innate magic spells you get for cleric is not anything I want.
Yeah.
Liturgy, Toll the Dead. If it was a healing spell, I would have been all over it.
Yeah.
But at that point, seeing all the damage that I did, I figure. Is a short. I'm assuming a long rest is coming soon, so that's when
you guys are going back to the end and passing.
So I'll pull this. I'm gonna take. Damn it! Go with someone else.
Yeah, no.
Have someone else explain.
We
have someone else explain why I think about
session.
this.
We have until the next session to figure all this out.
Yeah, I'll have
100%.
to figure it out because ideas I have. It's just
Yeah, no, and obviously the conversations need to be had if whatever if we want to flesh stuff out, bounce ideas. We're doing things pretty open and whatever you're thinking and feeling.
I wish the spells were better. like I know you get the lowest level 1 spells in the world. I wish they were better.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, hey Jack, do you know what is the ruling on? I'll look it up. Me and you will talk later. I gotta find out the sorcery rules on changing spells. I remember
On
what
level
you
up.
can level up. You
Well,
can
Dutasha's
change.
on level up.
Yeah, you can choose one to change each level.
Okay.
I should kind of clarify each level you take in sorcerer.
Sorcerer,
Yes.
yes. Yeah, yep. Fear that much is just
Yeah, we'll hold to
trying to
that.
figure out what to do with it.
But yeah, so that definitely gives you like time to test the stuff out. Like you guys had a few
Yeah, I
good
got to go look.
moments throughout this cave. I really hope I got that thalassophobia in.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of times of me sitting there. I get that long beard now, like sitting there playing with the beard, like absolutely just concerned about
Dude,
life
there's
at this
some
point.
spooky fucking shit underwater, and yeah. All right, what's everyone else thinking or feeling? Doesn't need to be an answer now, but
Yeah, I'm also looking at taking a feat, but
yeah.
just don't know what yet. I know I was looking at Sentinel before.
Yes.
I'm taking Warcaster this level. Like,
Yeah.
I need to be able to
Yeah,
use my mace,
absolutely.
my shield, and cast spells. Like, I need that freehand spell cast
I mean,
shit.
cleric level 4 warcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You fought underwater in the worst conditions. That you went to war. You all went to war, and
That was...
as you all come out, you internalize. Like, all right, you're level 3 adventurers. You've all seen some shit, been through some things. This
It does say
brought you all
you've-
to the limits.
It says you have practiced casting spells in the midst of combat. I was like, yeah, I have.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, even like minor scrapes, especially Morgen, in the Shadowfell, maybe would have had a little bit of, encountering like random shadows and geists that like plague the realm, but like nothing that intense. Ludo haunted with the memories, and just like I don't know, I think maybe that internalization that they're like. That constant feedback loop within themselves at this point.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, hey, the lower it gets, the higher you can rise later on. Like, I don't know, yeah, like, all of that played out very perfectly with, like, how the dice treated everything.
There was not one point of this game that I feel like safe. Even like there's some white ass in front of you.
So
That sucks.
long on
That sucks.
It's
that
so
that
scary.
description sucks. like what you just said is awful.
Like, I don't want to. Can we not? Is there any way we can avoid? And I'm like, you burnt a spell slot to get through that? All right, yeah.
Hey,
see what
I burned a
happens.
spell slot to get through that. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, I can do that. I didn't burn a spell slot. I burned a spell slot and a sorcery point just so we didn't have to deal with whatever the hell that was.
If you didn't do any of that, it would have been dex saves, and then if you fail, you were restrained for a turn. So that would have very.
All right. Well, at least it wasn't that bad. It might have got us through.
Coded the leaves, so they couldn't apply their restrained poison when you went through, and you were the only one they attacked.
Got us through a little bit faster, I guess, but it's just
100%. Like that probably would have ate you guys up another 2 or 3 turns, which there was a tracker for how many turns you guys took and when the rivals showed up, and it was really, really close. Like there was like 2 more rooms that could have made the difference that you guys were able to get through pretty good with your abilities.
That was a lot of stuff that just sucked. No, the whole thing sucked.
Leave it to Matt Mercer,
Oh, I mean, I enjoyed it, but it was just one of those things like there's so much that could have happened
hey.
that was just scary.
Hey, you guys won the tournament. You won the festival.
Yeah.
You're winners.
It doesn't feel that
Why
way.
not?
Why?
We survived.
You say that, but it doesn't feel that way.
Hey,
Oh.
so that spear that I took out of the shark, is it? It's just a regular spear.
We'll figure that out.
All right.
I heard some buzzwords I liked, but yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah.
There's some words I enjoyed.
Yeah. Never mind what's happening over down here. You guys didn't see any of that.
Yeah.
But no, that's I think this module does this amazing hook, and I don't know. There's a lot of fun shit that can happen next. And this crew together is actually really fucking cool.
Yeah, it is.
Like this is a really
pretty well
good
together.
fucking team.
All right. Yeah, it's a scary glass cannon team. Like, you know what I mean? It's one of those teams like, yes, it's a very cool team. It feels very glass cannon-y. Like,
Well,
we can hit
Ludo's kind of
really
tanky.
hard. Ludo's tanky, but it's like we can hit real hard once. And that's about it. And that's about it. It's
The
gonna
giant
hurt.
shark on level 3s is pretty rough.
I thought I did
was
pretty
rough.
good. I thought I did pretty good with that. Let's seize the thing up, like a turn.
Yeah,
No,
Like,
that
that was great.
perfect.
Hoped it lasted more than just one turn. Get some hits on it. And then I must have missed. Like I must have missed the whole the Emond came out and freed it. I was like, oh, I missed that part of it.
I
would
might have
probably
explained that bad.
It was probably my fault of like not understanding that. Oh shit, it's free now. I should have asked like, do I still see the electrical around it? I should have asked before I moved right in. But the whole like I'm comfortable around Ludo is like the big thing of character, and it's just one of those things like.
Yeah, no, like that.
Oh yeah. Like the Pelt, Pelt would definitely learn giant shark.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Absolutely. If he doesn't turn into a shark later on this campaign, I'll be very upset.
Same. I would be pissed.
Like, dude, no, you need to turn into a shark at some point. Oh damn! But there's some
Amazing.
unexplaining that needs to be done, I think, with these new friends that we came up with.
There's a lot of parts moving.
And
but
dude, this is a
y'all
fun.
come out to crash and then determine what your next steps are.
Yeah.
Alrighty,
And-
fellas. I gotta go to bed.
All right.
Hell yeah, no, thank
Hey,
you
man.
for
Yeah,
playing.
me too.
Yeah,
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 y'all
that was
have a
fun.
good
Thanks for running.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I get to do a new thing real fast in the game that I've been wanting to do, just for the next time anyone loads in.
New fun thing in the game.
Yeah,
I figure what feat I'm taking. I'm gonna take a feat though.
y'all unlocked.
I know. I think
New
I'm going
splash
to
screen.
also.
And that was the whole thing with this character. I'm like, I'm just gonna do feats because they're fun. And the hard part is now knowing what I can do with electrical spells, and me being like an
Oh,
electrical.
That was definitely like
Sorcerer.
a very like in the moment, but I was like, I
Dude,
had
I
been
love it.
thinking,
That
and I
is-
was just
that-
like,
'cause I
that's
was-
the move. Like it's
Yeah, I was thinking, what is he going to do? He's either going to say it boosts, like I had one of two ideas. You're going to say that it boosts the damage. So if like someone failed an ice knife that I transferred into a meta magic electrical knife, that if they failed it, it was going to take twice the damage. Or like what you said, is going to extend the range. Those are the two things I thought of. And that's why I'm like sort of being in this party, I'm sort of thinking the feat that's not what I want to do. Feat I might take would be meta magic,
yeah.
because
skip more
now
points.
I can get the
Careful.
spell, which automatically allows my characters to I think it's two to pass my
Not take damage.
Well, take
Or half.
the half damage, yeah. Oh, take whatever like you automatically succeed.
Yeah.
So a chosen creature automatically succeeds, which would be Ludo. Like after seeing me attacking with the ice knife the first time, that was like his first thing of, okay, this guy is like, he didn't yell at me. He's going to be my dude. So this guy is going to be like, oh, I'm sorry. Choose a number of those creatures up to your charisma modifier. What is my charisma modifier? It's 5. So it's up to 5 creatures can automatically survive succeed. And that's what I'm going to take. I think is Meta Magic Adept. I was also trying to find things I can do like that will allow me to raise my modifiers as I take feats, and there's a few that allow you to do that, but they're hard to explain in game, and I like to explain things in game. So.
Hell yeah, no, I love that.
I was asking about that spear because it might be kind of cool to switch from the longsword to use a spear and take polearm master.
Ooh. I will say you do feel something with that spear.
By the way, no one has a way to identify that spear. me as a player / DM listening to his descriptions, I heard him say silvered at least 3 times. So I'm like, that's what you want to do, man. My friend is right there. But no, it's like, pretty cool. I think that's a spear. I mean, especially since most of this game seems to be, like I said, didn't know this game was underwater, like that much underwater. Just thought it was just a cool name they gave the module. I was like, that's a sweet name. Like now knowing that is like majority of it underwater. I'm glad I picked a character who breathes underwater.
That was pretty clutch.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Hell yeah, no, I love it.
I'll take mounted combatant. And that's not it. That's not what I'm taking.
Snop? Is that y'all?
I'm just gonna ride on the back of my
Get summon seed and summon a seahorse. Boom.
That'd be awesome to have. Wish the innate magic, like you could adjust what you could pick up. Like as you raised level, you could change it. But I'm gonna have to go.
I understand. It makes sense. It's just like,
I understand.
Dip.
I'm gonna have to go Meta Magic Adept because it gives me a couple extra sorcery points, which makes the most different.
The stack of those points as much because like even if you're not using those, you still have more sorcery points to use.
Later on, I will adjust, but
because like that means so many more spell slots in the future. Like exponentially, like every game, every rest.
Yeah, you can extend things, which is pretty cool. Like. Cast a spell a duration of 1 minute or longer. That's not.
No, I think sorcerers like their abilities, like they can do some really cool fucking things when you get like the right setup. But it's like but also being stuck with spell lists like sucks sometimes.
Yeah, it does. I mean, I enjoy it. I have Quicken, but it's fun. Like there's fun things you can do, like. The sorcerer having a couple meta magics now, and I have 4 meta magics, which is pretty awesome because you can do a lot of different things. I mean, it's just fun. But this character with the way he does things is like bonkers. There's a lot of different things that I didn't think a sorcerer can do. Like, especially this style of sorcerer is just crazy. I'm going to take Meta Magic Adept.
Perfect.
So I get 2 extra sorcery points, and then I'll take the Careful and Seeking. I won't go Seeking spell. So if I miss with an attack roll, I can spend 2 sorcery points to re-roll a d20, but I must use that d20 roll.
Gotcha.
At least it gives me a chance if I miss.
No, love it.
Let's see if I need to manage more spells. Are we Reed is going to assume long rest or